And welcome to the J and K show. We've been out a little bit. We've had some things going on. Our number one prized possession, being our voices, have not been working as well for different reasons. But we are here to bring you a Tuesday edition of last week's action. And we also, with the holiday coming up and other things, we may not be able to bring you as much content, but we're going to try to bring you as much as we can this week. So we'll just get started, and we'll even go back all the way to Thursday night football, where we have the Jets at Patriots. I put on here, Jay, maybe a team to beat. I know that they have not played a lot of star teams, but the Patriots are starting to look the part, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's been so long since they've had a good team, right? Yeah, they just kind of tripped and fell out of Brady and then had like 4 seasons of mediocrity. We were happy for a minute, and then it's like, hey, enter Drake May. And it's like, you scumbag.
no
But you're
one
right. They're a team to beat for sure.
no one saw them being this good, honestly, in my opinion. No one really saw them being this good for a long time with Drake May. I don't think anyone thought he was going to be this good this fast. And some may say this was as good as they thought he would ever get as he matured. And he's just
Hmm.
already there. And now you have to wonder how much better can he get over the next few years. They're starting to look mighty similar to, I would still say, like Diggs said, the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen.
Big time. And I wouldn't really say that they haven't played anybody good. I mean, they did beat Buffalo
Yeah,
and they did beat Tampa in Tampa.
those are their two right there, I would say.
So yeah, but they have been tested a little bit. Um, but Thursday was just kind of a joke, throwaway game. It wasn't
Yeah,
close really at all.
not really.
Trevion just did whatever he wanted to do, and poor Fields couldn't do anything at all. I think it's over. I just think it's done. So they're probably going to get rid of him. I don't know. He may make a roster somewhere as a backup, but to bench him like they're doing now for Tyrod, which I don't disagree with it. I think Tyrod deserves a chance to show what he can do too, but I'm a Tyrod kind of fan. I like him as a player. But, I think Fields, you can't really make excuses anymore. He had a bad game, and Adonai did not help him at all. So he
No,
looked really bad. He had a couple bad drops, but it's only what, his second year. So
correct.
he has time to build. I'm afraid Fields doesn't now. So I think if he goes anywhere, he's probably just going to be a practice squad, second, third string guy.
Yeah.
So he's going to be turned into that Jameis Winston kind of journeyman vet. So we'll see what
Right.
happens. But yeah, the Jets are toast. They're ass. They're dog shit. They're whatever you want to call them
Yeah.
because they just are. They traded away so much good. But I think in the long run it'll benefit them, and they'll be
They'll
better
probably
for
be
it.
yeah, they'll probably be fine.
But you get all those first round draft picks. You save all that money, so they can go out and get some free agents next in the off season. They'll have a couple good drafts. They'll have a good young team in the next few years. But I don't. I think even the Jets fans are probably like, we're not going to do anything with it. So
Right.
they're still run by idiots. So we'll see what happens with them. But New England, man, I mean you can't say anything bad about them. They're showing out on both sides of the ball. Diggs seems to be a good veteran leader. So yeah, I they're gonna be tough to beat. And if they get home field, I'm gonna be pissed.
I mean, he has more kids on the way than the Jets have wins, so it's pretty
He's almost he's trying to catch up with old Phil Rivers, bud. He's trying to get
yeah.
a whole squad.
And they could play a little one-on-one ball. You get Antonio Cromartie in the mix to kind of defend.
Oh, dude, that's like 5 teams if you
That's like
put
30
Cromartie in
kids
there.
right there.
Yeah, no shit.
Anyways, yeah. So this is how I feel as far as the Jets. At this point, yeah, you can go ahead and put Tyrod in. I think I've seen enough of Fields to understand, I like what he brings as a runner. I just don't think that they scheme him well enough. And I've seen enough of his passing in situational football to be like, okay, this just isn't a good fit. Tyrod might be a better fit. And so at this point, I'm like, I'm good with it. I think Tyrod throws a good ball. And I like seeing veterans late in a year get a little bit of an opportunity. We've seen it. Joe Flacco with the Browns the one year. Like we've seen little moments happen with guys. So I like it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Tyrod. He's always been somebody who hasn't really gotten very much love, but he's always on a football team, and I wonder why. Like he's obviously a talented player, throws a good ball. He
Yeah.
has a little bit of mobility to him as well, and he probably just learns and understands the playbook and the play calls. So I'm excited to see, hey, you're going to be the guy. Come on in, be the starter. I worry about his injury abilities because, to be totally honest, that's what's robbed him of every opportunity. Is he gets injured. I'm pretty sure wasn't he in Miami or Buffalo and somebody punctures his lung?
Yeah, was it the Chargers, and that's
Was it
what
the
gave Herbert.
Chargers before
Yeah, that's
Herbert?
what gave
Yeah,
Herbert his go.
it just feels like something like that happens with him. A few weeks ago, he was going to start for the Jets, and then he's like kind of injured, and then it's suddenly Fields is going to play, and then they win. They win two in a row.
Hmm.
It's off by basically around their bye, and so for Tyrod, it's like, man, things really don't break your way very much. So I'm hopeful for the guy. I like him. So we'll see. Um, I would say I'm at least 80 to 90% that the Jets are going to draft good talent over the next 2 years. Their roster is
Hmm.
going to overhaul to some degree. And a lot of us over the next season and the following season, we're going to look at the Jets and we're going to say, there's quite a bit of talent on this roster. Anyway, there's a lot of talent on this roster, but like you were saying, I don't have a lot of faith that the Jets can really figure out how to use it or how to strike with it. Obviously, you got to get the quarterback right, which they will try to do this season. Maybe they'll be just trying to do it the next season, depending. No, there's no doubt in my mind. They're probably gonna have a really strong defensive lineman that we talk about. They're probably gonna have a strong secondary or corner that we're gonna talk about. They'll probably have a receiver and a running back, and they'll have 4 or 5 guys we talk about. But that it just seems like that's about as far as they can really go. So we'll see
Hmm.
if they nail quarterback. All bets are off, but I have very very low doubts in that,
Yeah, I think they either need
or
to.
high doubts. I'm sorry, low faith,
Oh, yeah,
high doubts. I have a high doubts.
high doubts. Yeah, very little faith in the organization, and we all know how I feel about the Jets being one of the 3 organizations in the league that just whatever they do, they can't get it right. But I think they need they need to get a high octane offensive coordinator. Because who's their offensive coordinator right now? Nobody knows. Nobody
And
knows. I mean, they need to make waves with their coaching staff. And
the Jets
Aaron
have
Glenn,
been,
I think Aaron Glenn is the right guy for the job. I really do. I think he's
yes,
the right guy.
but they
But
should
he's
call.
got to get a staff.
Yeah,
He needs to realize that the coordinator he has now ain't it. They need to get a high octane, quick, young offense out there that's going to move the ball, be quick to the ball, almost like a hurry up 2-minute offense every time they hit the field.
yeah,
And that's I think what's going to help them out, because right now their defense is decent, but they can't get off the goddamn field, so they're tired.
got him.
So
I
so
mean,
yeah, so I think they need to make staff changes, organizational changes, player changes, but with all the assets that they have right now, I don't know how New York fans feel, but as an outsider, you can't just help but feel that they're going to screw it up somehow.
yeah, I agree. Things that I think about, it's finding fit, finding, like you just said, a high octane. I feel like maybe one of their best chances of getting a high octane OC with keeping Aaron Glenn, but getting a high octane OC is maybe you find a guy in college that they have great offensive play calling, but it's a smaller school, and the guy decides an OC in the NFL instead of waiting for the right strong school to move to. Because you got right now, North Texas averages 40 points a game. Maybe the guy on their staff is a hell of a play caller. You bring him in as your OC. He would be more interested in that kind of job because he's waiting for his opportunity as probably Power Five, I imagine. But you may not be able to entice a Power Five team coach to the Jets as an OC. You would probably have to offer a head coach. But maybe you can entice a North Texas. Maybe you can entice South Florida. They average 39. Utah, dare I say, even a Vanderbilt. But now I think that guy's got it figured out, and they're going to start to be a solid football team. But there's teams through here, UNLV, James Madison. There's teams that are lower scale that they might consider the jump as an OC of the Jets. And I think I agree. That's what they need as a guy that knows how to play call. And Aaron Glenn needs him a buddy, someone he can rely on that side of the ball.
Yep, absolutely. That allows him to focus primarily on the defensive side. That's his bread and butter. So let him do that. Let somebody else take the offense.
Yeah, Mitchell, I didn't catch the game all the way through. I watched, the beginning, and then I went to bed because I knew that New England was going to win. But after the game with Ad and I, there was a clip posted of him saying Mitchell went off in his debut. And I was like, oh shit, really? And then I watched a highlight reel of him missing every single pass, basically. And I'm like, man, the internet is undefeated. And they hold no punches. They don't make friends. They are not there to be friendly or nice. They are pretty brutal.
And that's what makes the internet. And as a highly toxic person, it's what makes the internet great. But he did have his first catch, and his only catch was a good one, and he almost scored on it. But
yeah,
you can't put the game on him either. Yeah, he had some drops and everything, but it was his first game there.
Yes.
So shut up. He'll be fine.
Yeah. The Pats are winning ugly, which is good for playoff time. I will say they don't splash on every play. Sometimes they're doing it boring. I think the rise of Henderson, now they're going to have a running back carousel that they can use down the line is when they get Stevenson healthy. I look at their team and I just think we'll get to some teams later on, but I get it how they would be a front runner. Very similar to the Colts, which is really annoying because we haven't been involved with them enough in our franchise history. But two teams with great records and have had some great showings, but the knock on them is their schedule hasn't been that hard. So they're kind of linked together.
Yeah.
I put it this way, I doubt both teams are playing each other in the AFC title game. So only one of these teams are liable to be there and get through difficult times within the playoffs. I don't think both of them will because of the newness and this is, you got to take your lumps. So I hope for our sake that it's us that is figuring it out now, and not, this is what we learned and what we build on. Hopefully that's New England that does that this year.
Yeah, hopefully so. But I do miss that rivalry, something fierce, though. I mean, the Colts-Pats rivalry, even though we were on the short end a little bit, but there were times where it was beautiful. So, and I don't think a lot of us realized what we had when we had it, and now it's kind of like, dude, we had Peyton versus Brady for 10 years, and it was beautiful.
Yes, I agree. The way it's looking right now, it definitely seems to be like a 3-team race.
Mm-hmm.
So two of them, two of the three will likely match up with each other. Denver, New England, and the Colts. Two of them will have to play each other. One of them will get the luxury of only playing one of those three in a tough game, possibly in the AFC title game. So as far as that's concerned, I do hope for our sake that we continue to kick ass and we get the one, and we make the Patriots and Denver play each other at some point if they are playing well enough as like the 2 and the 3. I hope that's who they have to play, and then we ain't got to beat them both, right? So we got to continue to play well.
Yeah, I kind of hope so too, but I also don't know for sure if I want that bye week or not. So
I'm not sure either.
we'll
A
see.
2
I'm
might
torn
even
about
be
it.
better. A 2 might be,
Yeah, two
yeah,
might be the seed to go after.
I agree. Moving on. So then on Sunday night, Sunday morning football, our final, I put on here the last one or the last ride.
Thank God.
Madrid, Spain. We have, I think, was that our first ever Madrid, Spain game?
Yeah,
I honestly thought for the low scoring game that it was actually fairly entertaining. It wasn't awful,
yeah,
close to not good. Like it was kind of bad, but it wasn't terrible. But not a lot to really discuss statistically or momently wise. Overtime, Miami gets it done. Achane. I honestly feel like the one thing Miami I think learned from this season is our dedication to the run is
yeah,
their wins have had almost everything to do with Achane. And their losses have had everything to do with running it 12 times the whole game. So I
yeah.
think they figured out a little bit of what was wrong with their offense. I don't know if Daniels will be there, but you
No,
got that.
he's good as gone. I think.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and Tua didn't turn the ball over. God knows he tried,
He
but
was. He was trying hard.
watching that, the last 5 minutes of that game was such a hemorrhoidal, ugh, just a vomit fest. At that point, it's like fourth and goal from like the two. I'm like, there's 2 minutes left. Just kick the goddamn field goal
It was
and stop doing
frustrating.
this shit.
Both teams going for it when they have points right there. And
Yeah,
and I'm like, wow, you guys are pretty dense. Like there's not a lot of time left. You'd think that getting a lead would be good. It's low
dense is a
scoring.
very good word. Thank you for that.
The way they play football, some of these teams, not just these guys, they pretend that the game is 38-38. And it's like, golly, we just better get that old touchdown there or we might lose.
Yeah.
No, you're not. It's
So
13-13. The fuck's wrong with you? You kick
right,
the field
it's
goal and
not.
we never have overtime. And if you'd have got an
Yeah.
injury in overtime, that'd have been your fucking fault.
Yeah, and I think if Mariota doesn't throw that interception at the beginning of overtime, they probably if I was the owner of the Dolphins, I would have left everybody in Spain. Like you guys figure it out. You're staying here. Just figure it out. You want to know how you're getting home? Ask your goddamn coach what to do because he obviously he just he gets in his own way, man. And I think that's the trouble with a lot, especially in the last 5 years, this new analytical league. Guys just they get in their own way. When you're in a defensive battle, like, and I know we'll get to it in a little bit, but with like KC and Denver, what did they do? They took the fucking points because they knew it was going to be a tight game and points were going to be a virtue.
Yes.
So
They
in this
believed
game,
in
you
their
got
defenses. They actually were like, you
exactly,
know what? Our defense
yeah,
plays half the game. We're gonna
yeah.
believe
We
in this.
can we can take 3 points, and you know what? It's going to be a success. Anytime you get points, it's a success in this game.
In a game
But
where you're giving the ball to a great quarterback, I know it's hard,
yeah,
but in this game, it's Tua versus Mariota. No offense, but they are much closer to game managers than they
yeah,
are exploding playmakers. So game managers don't usually score as many points in games, right? They take control of the ball, the football, they play solid, balanced offense. Why are we being aggressive with that kind of makeup?
yeah,
Like literally a
yeah.
bad fit as a team.
Yeah. If you're Mike McDaniels, you're like, man, we really need to get a touchdown here because Marcus Mariota might go on a 94-yard drive and just beat the shit out of us. Shut up, man. Just stop. I think we just need to the NFL as a whole
Yeah,
just needs to get together in the offseason and be like, look, all you guys with this fourth down shit, go away. Go away. Let's get back to the mid 2000s football here where it's not like, yeah, well, we're on our own 40. It's 4th and 2. Ah, fuck it, let's go for it. No, let's not do that. Play the field position. Play it. Use it to your advantage. If they go 96 yards on you and they score a touchdown, guess what? Your defense has got a problem. And you need to adjust. So at least you know, like, well, okay, that was a mistake. We need to adjust to that. 4th and goal at the 2. You're in a 13-13 tie. You're in Madrid, Spain. Kick the goddamn field goal and you end it in regulation and there's no overtime. And I grant NFL is fine with them being another international overtime game because it's free football internationally. And we just did it with Atlanta. So they're happy about it, I'm sure. But as a fan, as somebody watching, it's just, dude, get it over with so we can not. I don't have to watch this shit anymore. I would really like to get to the 1 o'clock slate.
Yeah, there is that half hour between that game and the 1 o'clocks that it must be filled.
Yeah, I gotta go dump out my breakfast, dude. I gotta go make room for the mid slate snacks.
You gotta stomp it down that waffle drain of yours. Am I right?
Gotta waffle stomp that shit, yeah, bud. And you gotta do it. Gotta jam that mud snake down the drain.
So, not that anyone gives a shit, but when I played football in school, and it was like middle school, it was like 7th and 8th grade, we had the radio station host in town as the coach. And he said, the very first day of practice, he said, we're going to play a rough style of offense. We're going to pound the rock. He said, if we get at least 3, hopefully 4 yards of play, we'll never punt the ball. And that was the mentality, right? Well, yeah, if you get 3 to 4 yards every play, you get yourself to at least a 4th and 1, or you got a first down with those first 3 tries. These NFL teams, I'm sorry to tell you, if you are not getting closer than 4th and 1 or 2, you need to stop and understand you failed. You failed to get at least 3 yards of play. You failed. Punt the ball and trust your defense, because there is so much that can happen on a muff punt. There's so much that can happen as your defense plays, and there's penalties, and you get them backed up, and there's so much type of plays in football for you to minimize your whole game on, well, these 3 times at 4th and 3 or 4, we're going to go for it. You're losing the game if you don't get those. Like, it's just idiotic to minimize your entire game and everything you put into it over these 3 4th downs you went for on that game. Because if you go 0 for 3, you're kind of shit out of luck, and it just doesn't. It doesn't, especially when you can get points. I'm a firm believer that outside of 2 yards, you should absolutely take points unless the game literally shows you with minutes left that you are very unlikely to win because of how much you're down or what the score and the time is. If it's in the last 5 of the 4th, I get it. You might decide to make a change. But outside of the last 5 in the 4th, no, you just take the fucking points. Baltimore's doing it. Houston's doing it. Fucking Philly and other teams are doing it. They're taking field goals when they need to. And they're winning games. Ugly. Because they believe in their whole roster, not just their offense, their whole roster.
Yep. And the defense was playing really good. So,
yeah,
reward the defense by scoring points. Yes. So maybe think about that and do that, and your defense will feel a lot better than, oh my God, now we got to stop them from going and winning the game.
I'll be honest too, the way that game went, it's in Madrid, Spain. We've had some weird, crappy games, like sluggish games. Teams have been a little off. Miami's defense obviously has been a suspect defense, but in that game they were playing pretty well.
And as of late, as a whole,
the Commanders have struggled this season. Even when Daniels was in, they had some struggles. I think that they should have kicked the field goal if Daniels was the quarterback. That's how strongly I feel. Put the ball in Daniels' hands. If they're fucking 3-7 coming into the Madrid game and Daniels is at quarterback, You challenged Daniels and the Commanders without McLaurin and without, the running backs they had to start the season. You challenged them to go down the field and win the game. Ertz didn't play very well. I thought he was a little slow and clunky on his routes. Just challenge them to win the game. Put the ball in their situation. You're going to have to do it. We're not going to make the mistake. You're going to have to make it happen. And they just kind of like give opportunities to teams instead. It's just foolish.
Yep. Pressure is real.
Yeah.
Pressure is real.
The next game we have Carolina at Atlanta. I was cautious about this game coming in because I thought Atlanta was going to win last time and they lost 30-0. And I thought, Atlanta's
At least
probably
they
going to play
scored
better
27 this time.
They're at home. Atlanta's going to play better. I'm going Carolina, right? I'm still going Carolina. I think I put on here Bryce Young's best game.
Ever.
That was not garbage
Best game
time
ever.
Bryce Young. That was, I got a pocket. I'm going to take a step in, and I'm slinging the ball into the right spots. He threw it probably 20 balls that were awesome, and then just a couple that were a little bit wild. And obviously, he still runs around and gets sacked some. He had 5 sacks on him, but honestly, when he wasn't getting sacked, and he probably had 4 balls that I didn't like outside of that. The rest of them were fantastic. He played his best game.
Yeah, it throws for almost 450, dude. 450 is rarely seen anymore. And they say, it's a passing league and it's a throwing league, whatever. You don't see 400 very much.
It's the Drew Brees, the Phillip Rivers of old.
Yeah.
Those guys, Stafford, those 450-yard games that we would see every few weeks. We don't see that like that anymore. It's not that often.
Never. You get maybe 2 or 3 a year anymore if you're lucky, because now so many quarterbacks are running too.
Yes.
But, it was a nice kind of thing to see. I didn't watch the game, but, to sit there and just watch, Atlanta get kind of a decent lead, and it's like, okay, well, Panthers going to let you down, aren't they? And then you just see slowly chipping, slowly. You see the score up there in the top left. Oh, man, they're down. They're only down 10. Oh, shit. Oh, God, they're down 3. Oh, shit, they're going to overtime. Oh, shit, they won. Damn. So, I know Penix ended up getting knocked out, but, I think regardless, even if Penix was going to finish the game in there, I think Carolina's probably going to win. It just looked like they were motivated to go and get it, and Atlanta kind of just ran out of gas because they played in Germany last week, so
yeah.
Maybe that's got something to do with it. You might, if you go play an international game, you might want your bye week to be scheduled the week after. So like the Colts did. So it's not, you get time to adjust and you're not worn out.
Yeah, I mean, that is important to note. Like you said, Penix was 13 of 16 in this game going in the fourth quarter. He was playing a clean game, and I'll be honest, his throws were pretty good too. He was having himself some athletic and accurate throws within the pocket. It's hard to believe that with the lead they did have, that maybe they don't find a way to win the game. Cousins, unfortunately, I think this is going to be, I think we're going to not see him anymore.
Yeah, I think this will shut some people up about him. Like, he just doesn't have it.
Yeah, I think it's
Kirky Ice or whatever they were calling him there, for Kirky Chains or whatever the hell it was. Vanilla Ice. This is what I would always call him, but he's been around long enough. I think the game is waving goodbye to him, and he should probably go ahead and wave goodbye to the game because he's made a lot of money doing this, and I think it's just time to move on. God love him. I don't hate the guy. I liked watching him play. He was really good, but I think it's time.
Yeah. I don't want a guy to play and not really be effective and kind of like just look really not themselves at all. I don't.
Like Drew Brees' last year,
Yeah, it just kind of is sad. Now, could he have a Joe Flacco resurgence for a team just because of the?
No.
Of course he could. Of course he could.
He
but
could. Well, I guess anything's possible.
but you know,
You just don't see it.
I think the what this game looked different to me was that Dowdle didn't crush the Falcons. Like this really was Bryce Young finding McMillan, finding was it Leggett, right?
Leggett,
That's
yeah,
Leggett.
Xavier Leggett.
Leggett finding guys in spots. I think Jatavian Sanders is the tight end. He looked pretty decent for a second.
Yeah,
Finding guys, getting them the ball. I thought the field goal they got right before the half, they managed to get down there in just a little time
yeah,
and
that was
get a field
big.
goal. I was like that. I thought honestly in that moment, I was like, that's the moment I thought Carolina may have a shot of coming back and win the game. Like I felt
Yeah,
pretty
that
good about
momentum changed for sure right there.
yes.
Yeah,
And yeah, I think for Atlanta, they just feel like a team that can't close this year. Feels like a
hmm
growing year for them for sure, where you can see the talent. There's some pass rushers that are there. They got some secondary that are nice. You obviously have a nice building blocks for offense. Like next year,
yeah,
as they build their team and they draft a couple more guys and maybe they free agent sign someone, Atlanta is probably going to look pretty nice next year. They look like one of those young teams that are figuring out, okay, this is how you win, this is how you lose. So like I'd be excited for Atlanta next season. I think Penix is showing good signs. So like disappointing loss for them, but there has been a lot of positive signs throughout the year for Atlanta. So
yeah,
3-7, that's a good 3-7 team. I mean, like we were talking with the
yeah,
Cardinals, that's a pretty good 3-7 team.
yeah. Don't give up on Raheem Morris, please. Don't give up on him. He's doing good work down there. I think they're a draft and an off season away
Yes.
from making some noise. So they got a good young core. You want your, quarterback. You got two tier one running backs in that backfield.
Yeah.
You got you a dynamite number one receiver. You got a great tight end. Your defense is getting a lot better.
Yeah.
So
They have the
just trust,
pieces.
like they always say with Embiid for the last 45 years, trust the process. It's working.
Hmm.
They're getting there. So
Yeah.
don't screw it up. Don't blow it up. Keep as many people there as you can. Just try to get you a couple more pieces and they'll be fine.
Yeah. If you're Atlanta, I would say get you a pass rusher,
Another good pass rusher.
get you an offensive lineman, and maybe get yourself a receiver.
Yeah. Get you, I
Second,
mean,
third round, get you a receiver.
yeah, I think Mooney is a good number two,
But if you had someone to
but
challenge him, that would be good. Right?
I think his place is better in the three role,
Exactly.
maybe a slot. He'd be better in the slot. Get you a good tall young guy to play on the outside, so you can keep Mooney in the slot.
Hey,
And I
hey,
think they can make a lot of noise.
Elijah Surratt, bud.
Don't you curse him to go down
I'm
there.
not cursing. Atlanta's a fun team to watch. And Penix, he never got to play with Surratt, right? Surratt come over
Yeah.
from a different squad to come and transfer last season.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
he didn't get to play with him. That's fair. But they're not getting
Yeah.
Roma Dunze to match Penix. Like, like those things aren't
Mm-mm.
happening. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just throwing it out there. Just get
Yeah. Well, it's possible.
built like a Keon Coleman from college.
Mm-hmm.
Someone built like
Yeah.
that. Put him next on the other side, and like you said, Mooney. Now you've got another young guy to work with Penix. Your offense is, as far as weaponry is oh, there you go. You got your weaponry. It's finalized. Like it feels
Yeah.
like they're a few pieces away from maybe contending as a playoff team or a
Mm-hmm.
division. They can
Yep.
contend for the division next year. We'll see.
Absolutely.
Moving on to the next game. This game was pretty good.
Amazing.
Honestly, at times I really thought Tampa was gonna do it. Buffalo really didn't even play very good, in my opinion. Fuck
Not at
Josh
the start,
Allen.
anyway.
I played against him in fantasy. Fuck that guy so hard. This is probably I think it's the second time he's put 6 touchdowns on me. And again,
Mm-hmm.
like the last time he did that, I was playing against him pretty sure.
Yep.
Tampa at Buffalo. I put Allen goes for 6 fucking tuds. That's all there really
Yep.
is to say.
That's all there is.
He willed that team to victory. He gave everybody a little bit of an MVP performance. And honestly,
Mm-hmm.
for Buffalo, it was kind of much needed.
Very much
what
needed. They
happened.
weren't getting anything from anywhere else. James Cook couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
He had decent receptions, but I mean, their ground game wasn't working. And in Buffalo, if Cook can't get going, it's going to be the Josh Allen show, or they're going to lose.
Yeah.
And that's just all there is to it. And give Tampa lots of credit. Sean Tucker, dude. Holy hell. I'm so glad, you talked about going against Allen in fantasy. I went against somebody who had Tucker on their bench. And I was so happy. Like, oh my God. He comes out 3 touchdowns of his own, over 100 on the ground. It's like, dude, where did this dude come from? And you're thinking Rachaad White. Well, we got a game plan for Rachaad White. Not anymore, dude. Now you got a game plan for Tucker too.
Yeah, and
So
he flashed once or twice last season
mhm.
because they were kind of just like, yeah, we'll go 3 backs, fuck it, we just keep them all fresh. Yeah. And a couple times he flashed. He kind of gives me a Michael Turner vibe back in the day, like just this
the Boina Toina.
Yeah, he looks kind of big, and just you hand him the ball, and he's just like still fast, and I'm like, oh man, he's got some power to him. He kind of looks like David Montgomery a little bit. He just kind of a little stout and fast. Honestly, Rachaad White is probably getting relegated to more of the third down back after that performance.
Probably. And then I've watched Bucky Irving come back in like 2 weeks now that they have like Tucker. Yeah. And it's like now Bucky Irving's going to come back and Tucker's going to go fade back into oblivion. But
they're going to change those guys' names to Earth, Wind, and Fire or something. Like, have to give them a nickname or something.
Yeah, but Tampa is starting to struggle a little bit, but I mean, they don't look bad when they're losing here. I mean, but what they are missing, when they get what they're missing back, I believe they will start to rebound and they'll get better. I don't think they're going to get Evans back. At this point, I don't even think they're going to get Godwin back. But, once they get healthy on the line, you get Bucky back, and then you have that kind of trifecta effect in the backfield. It's like, we don't know who they're going to play in the backfield, so we got to prepare for all of them. But
I'll be honest with
anytime you got Baker, you got a chance.
I'll be honest with you. Right now, Tampa has a good team, and they should win their division, but I don't think they will. I think the Carolina Panthers are going to win.
Carolina's just on a tear.
Because the way Carolina plays, it is sustainable for a lot of opponents. And they've done so much garbage time playing that they're starting to have this feeling of they won't actually be out of a game now. You're starting to see signs of a team that can come back. And they haven't every time, but it's just like they've gone through so many lumps, and the way they've built their team now, when I look at Tampa, I'm like, they're kind of sluggish and out of sync. Running the ball helps. Mm-hmm. Sean Tucker, obviously, that helps. But I'm not sure. Baker goes upside down in a touchdown run, and I'm honestly looking in just like disbelief, like, you really thought that was a good idea to go that way? Because for me, I'm like, the Bucs are kind of Baker or bust. Say that 3 times fast.
Well, that 3 times fast. There you go. I said it. Yeah, dick. But no, yeah, their schedule. I know they got the Rams this week, which should be another good game. See, Baker versus Stafford. I would like to sit and watch that, and we get to because it's a Sunday night game. And
that's why we aren't on the Sunday night game.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Because it's a good one.
But their last 5 games are very, very winnable. They play the Cardinals, Saints, Falcons, Panthers, and then at Dolphins, and then they finish against the Panthers again. So they get the Panthers twice. So those should be pretty competitive games, and that's what's going to decide that division, I think.
But you're right. Even if they lost both times to Carolina, they could still be 11-6. So I get what you're saying.
They could still take it, yeah, but I mean, they can either wrap it up with beating Carolina the first game and then the last game won't matter, or Carolina could just say, "We want it. We want it more than you." And
Yeah, the body
which I'm
language.
rooting for it, it would be a little bit different. I like it when a team who's not supposed to win the division wins the division.
Yeah.
So
So
it kind of makes everybody look stupid.
Carolina kind of has some Dable with the Giants vibes the year they made it, where they just kind of start to get hot and everything's just syncing up in a way that helps them be competitive. Carolina, not only can they win the division, they can win a home playoff game. It's just the style of football that is translatable to the playoffs.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised that what's his name, Canellis, has that team playing like this already.
It's
But
impressive.
their schedule is a little bit harder. Carolina's is. They got, I think it's San Francisco Monday night at San Francisco, and then they play the Rams, and then they play Saints, Bucks, Seahawks, Bucks. So Carolina's got a rough schedule to finish it out. So, but if they can pull off a shot, if they can beat one of San Fran or Seattle, which San Fran's probably the more likely one, but if they can pull off one of those, then it's going to be an type butthole race to end the year.
Mm-hmm. I agree. To correlate from the two between Carolina and then to Buffalo. Last week Rico Dowdle did no pumps and he got no flags. Did you see Ty Johnson when he scored his touchdown? He pretended he had a hammy. He fell down and then he raped the ground twice. He plunged his member into the turf 2 times and he got no flag. So if you do it to the air, be aware that's going to be a flag. If you do it to the ground, we look the other way.
Yep, absolutely.
That's
That's fine.
total bullshit. It pisses me off.
Poor turf.
Just the Key and Peele skit for you guys to actually penalize it and then let a guy just, have relations with the turf and it's like, no, that's fine. Also,
yeah, that's okay.
Also,
ground and pound.
You're also, I don't know which game it was, you're not allowed to jump onto the goalpost and hug it. You're not allowed to do that either. They count that
you're not.
as dunking it on the goalpost. That if you grab the goalpost, that's also a penalty. And I'm like, you guys are ruining football.
Yep, they are. Well, it also, he did the goalpost thing, but so did Antonio Brown. So I think you just prove that Jameson Williams is psychotic. You do that. When I see the old AB clip of him doing that, and then I see Jameson Williams do it, it's like, God, I hope to God they were wearing fucking cups, dude, because that just looks like they slammed their nuts right into that thing, and it couldn't have felt good. It couldn't have felt good. So, yeah, I think these guys need to understand you can't touch the goalposts. You can't do anything like that. And you can dance and you can celebrate all you want within reason, but leave the goalpost alone.
And the last thing I will say about Buffalo is their receivers really put the B in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have so many B receivers, bud. They have a guy named Shavers now who honestly looks great. And they have Gabe Davis back.
Gabe Davis,
I'm like, they have like 7 B receivers now.
Yeah.
Is that like 3 A's and a B, or I don't know. But
they're definitely on an honor roll somewhere.
This is like how you build a team. Like if you have a Josh Allen, this is the exception to a rule of how you would build your team as far as weaponry. If you have a Mahomes, if you have, I don't even know if you could say Jalen Hurts. I think he needs a more talented receiver than what Buffalo has. But generally, like you have the exception of a couple guys that you can, because of what they do and how they do it, they can make B guys awesome in moments. I don't know if like I told you at the beginning of the year, Buffalo feels destined to always be related to silver, second place,
Yeah.
B, not an A. Like it just
Yeah.
feels like they're the team that's going to be short of the hump. And that doesn't mean they won't have an Indianapolis Peyton Manning moment and they finally get over the hump and they finally win it and everyone cheers and everyone's happy. But it's probably only going to happen once. And I don't know
Yeah.
when that's going to be, but it just feels
Well,
that way.
well, they weren't short of the hump with Ty Johnson, I'll tell you that. But
Hey, how
you
many?
know,
It wasn't one not being number one, it was two.
it was a
Two, man.
Tua.
Two.
But yeah, when you have to pay Josh Allen the money that you're paying him, and by God, they got every cent out of him on Sunday. You're going to be left with some guys like that. So I think I think they need to pony up for a good one. You know what I mean? If a team has to release somebody at the end of the year, or they get a free agent and they can just be like, man, we'll give you like $40 million to come here for 2 years. They have to do that. I think they need a viable threat. Keon Coleman, he's not mature enough yet. He could get there, but maybe not. When he had to miss this game for missing a meeting. So he's not there yet. Gabe Davis is never going to be a one. He's a good fit in Buffalo. I don't think they should have got rid of him in the first place.
Right.
But they don't.
Those two, Shakir
is their one, but he's not a one. I think he benefited a lot when Diggs was there. He would get a couple grabs here and there that were significant. He just works better, I think, as a 2 or a 3. And, Coleman can definitely be a 2 guy. But I think that they have to go and actually get them a 1. So, like, if you can get if Justin Jefferson is pissed off enough, you may be able to talk him out of Minnesota, but I don't know if that'll happen.
I think
they could absolutely. I think they should have. I think they should have done that at the trade deadline, but maybe the Eagles were just asking for too much.
Yeah.
But I that's the one thing that surprised me the most about the trade deadline, and I don't think we got to talk about that too awful much, but that's the one thing that I expected to happen. I expected AJ Brown to go to Buffalo, but it didn't happen, and I think it should have, and that might bite them in the ass. Especially come playoff time.
One diva receiver for another, though. I think for Buffalo, they're just like, let's try for a while without one and see how it goes. They had Diggs.
Well, they're 7-3, and they don't have a defense.
Like
they're going to have to score points.
You could have traded for a Waddle. Well, how much better would that have been over the others? Like, there's guys out there. But I know, for me, the Buffalo Bills seem like a team that they're better suited if they can turn their tight end like Kincaid into like a top 3 tight end in the league and that be their number 1 target. It's probably better suited for them to do that. If you can get an AJ Brown, then you go for it. But it does feel like a means to an end. You got to get a guy who's, I don't know, a little bit just quieter. I don't know. Like a Garrett Wilson.
A silent assassin.
Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, somebody who doesn't have, I don't know, has the ability but not as much chatter about him.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't want the distraction. They clearly got rid of Stephon Diggs, and then Josh Allen got MVP. And so I feel like it'd be hard-pressed for them to look back and go, I think we need a number 1 receiver again. Because they have
that
against it,
Yeah, it was enough to get him an MVP, but it wasn't enough to get him a ring. And I think it's better than nothing, yeah, but I mean, is Josh Allen's career going to be looked at as a success if he doesn't get one?
Would it have been worse if he'd never got an MVP also?
I think he should have got an MVP before this last year.
Yeah.
He deserved an MVP probably 2 or 3 years ago. But he just happens to be in that era where Lamar's doing what Lamar's doing.
Yeah.
And, Lamar. Yeah. So he's just the white version of Lamar, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, but Lamar is so dynamic and spectacular. It makes everybody else look like dog shit in comparison. So I think that he will get one eventually. And I think if they don't do it this year, then I think they're going to be hard pressed to make a lot of moves before the 26th season, because that will probably be the last season for their window, at least with Sean McDermott. Because if you don't get a title next year, I think maybe you got to start looking at maybe McDermott having to go.
Yeah, I see that. There's only so many more tweaks they can do with the regime they have or the roster they have, So I get it.
Yep.
Next game it's just almost frustrating to even talk about, but I will. The Houston Texans at Tennessee.
I will not be speaking about this. It's all you.
All right. I also don't really want to talk about it. I put barely pathetic. It was pathetic.
Very.
Tennessee's not a good football team. They're actually the worst in the league. Houston.
But they had a lead.
I know. I thought you were going to say anything. No, I'm just kidding. I tried. Woody Marks and them didn't do hardly shit. Like, this was a really awful game. Inconsistent play. Neither team could really move the football. But Tennessee, did they score a defensive touchdown?
Who the fuck cares?
I don't remember how they scored. I think it was defense. Anyway.
I don't think anybody remembers this game.
Davis Mills played terribly.
Nick.
This is a team, Houston, that beat Jacksonville last week with this miraculous comeback. And then they turn around and they barely get by the Titans. And Stroud is ruled out for the next game because they play Thursday.
And Buffalo's going to annihilate them.
And I am very high on Buffalo. Like, Houston's defense is good. Don't get me wrong.
They won't score 30 points, but
transitioning from the what we just were talking about with Buffalo, Allen and them, he had a shovel pass pick that was awful. I mean, in their own end zone, it was shit idea, shit play. And they've had some fumbling problems in Buffalo. Could I see this game being ugly instead of an ass whooping? I can, because Houston's defense is good. They are a good defense.
Very good.
I mean, they're 5-5, and truly, their defense is the 5 wins. 5 wins, you give them all to the defense. The 5 losses, you can give them to everybody else. They're the worst 5-5 team. There's only 3. There's 3 5-5 teams. They're clearly the worst, and it's not close.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stroud's out, so now Davis Mills has to go another time. Expect a loss for the Houston Texans. I'm tired of seeing teams play around with Tennessee. We didn't. We played them twice. These teams that play around with Tennessee, I've watched them twice. They are a pretty poor team. They are very, very far. And the teams that are struggling to play against them, indictments. I want indictments on all you motherfuckers because I am so tired.
Open up cases on all you bitches.
I am tired of seeing teams struggle against Tennessee. Denver struggled against Tennessee. Houston, there are teams, Jacksonville, the teams that are struggling. You guys all you should be ashamed.
Very ashamed. On to Chicago, Minnesota, if you don't mind.
No problem.
I don't want to waste any more times on Davis Mills and Cam Ward.
That's fine.
Yeah, and I really don't want to waste a lot of time on this game either, because it was kind of dog shit. But the only thing I'm going to say,
it was exciting.
It was exciting.
It was exciting.
Okay, the first 3 quarters were boring.
Yes, but the
fourth quarter was great.
Yes.
I'm just going to say the absolute difference in the Chicago Bears is coaching. The absolute difference.
Yes.
Is I think Ben Johnson has Caleb Williams more situationally aware, and they are winning games instead of losing the games. Caleb Williams is going out there making great throws, great decisions, and they're leading the North, dude. I don't think anybody saw this happening at any point in time this year.
Dude,
the Bears are 7-3, leading the goddamn North.
You just blew my mind with that, because I'll be honest with you, I hadn't even realized that yet. I'm sorry, everybody. Things will slip by me sometimes, and I'll have I'll have all these notes and everything, and I'll have it all figured out. And when he said it,
Hmm.
my mind just went, "Oh my God, he's
Yeah.
right." Wow.
Yeah. They are 7-3. Packers are 6-3-1, so they have that breaker there because they have more wins. But it's just amazing what having a coach who is competent can do. And
He gives them
he
like
it,
he gives
it
them
looks ugly at first,
moxie
but
and mojo. Like he gives them like
yeah,
a swagger.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think he give and if you see Caleb Williams at the end of games and stuff, it's like his demeanor is different.
He is.
He's not highly emotional.
Yeah.
He's just calm.
I've
He's
seen
calm.
that the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I've seen end of game moments of Caleb Williams and his facial and his demeanor, and it is looking so much more Pro Bowl level on his face. And I
Hmm.
like knocked my glasses, but his face at the end of the one game, he was very happy and he watched it and it was going in. He's like, yeah, like like,
Yep.
and it was
We're
like
good.
instead of no, it was like
Yeah.
yes, and he's like felt good, and he's like kind of tightening up, like happy. This game here, he walked off mad. Why? Because
Hmm.
they failed to get a better opportunity for Cairo Santos, and he was like, "We failed on offense," and he was mad, and I'm like,
Hmm.
"Ooh, gives me goosebumps." I like that. I like a guy
Yeah.
who's like, "All right," anybody's mad.
Yeah.
He's mad. Like, okay,
Yeah.
you care. We want you to care.
Yeah. Would you say he's a Care Bear?
He's he's Caleb Williams.
Gross.
Ew.
But yeah, JJ McCarthy again, good in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but he's just
But still
pushing the ball so
pushing.
hard.
Yeah, he's forcing a lot. He's really pissing Jefferson off.
Yeah, he is throwing the ball
But
high. I put on here
you need to get it to
McCarthy
him.
high and hard all game long.
Iron hide.
He's not
Yeah.
in a porno or nothing. Like you gotta ease it back a little bit, you know?
Yeah. He might not be in a porno, but they're sure getting fucked.
Woo!
But yeah, it's disgusting almost to see because it's like, man, I know him and I know he can play so much better than this. But still a lot of people forget, man, this is season one as a starter, and this is his first game experience. So it's like, yeah, I understand the frustrations there, but I mean, also it's like give him time. He had a lot of growing pains at Michigan too, but then look what he did when he was able to come back the second year. And it's like, there you go. This is the JJ McCarthy that everybody knew was coming from high school.
Yeah.
And it's like, next year I expect him to be better. And if he's not, then it's like, okay, you might want to consider doing something else. But I think he deserves at least another opportunity. But how long can they wait with the group that they have? And like I think with the Vikings too, their defense is pretty good. Again, I think they need new running back. They need a new running back. They got to get a good tight end to kind of go with the Hawker, kind of have that extra threat. Yeah, I mean they got good receivers. I mean they're all three of them are really good.
Yeah. They have good
So
receivers.
they just need a better option. JJ usually does a lot better when you have two solid tight ends. When you have that double tight end set, and I think that's what's going to make him thrive. Hello,
No, Malia. Shut the door, please. All right. Sorry. Thank you.
don't look.
Anyway,
Damn kids.
I'm sorry. Anyway, yes, I like the receivers. I agree that a running back makes sense. I feel a lot better about McCarthy because what I've been noticing most games is not only does he show me moments of really good football, of course he's showing me high and hard in this last game, and he's just not giving a lot of catchable balls out there sometimes.
Yeah,
That's fine. It happens, But there was, again, you point to it, that fourth quarter drive. It was great. It was
amazing,
a great
great.
fucking drive. And they go down and they score. And by all sense of the imagination, they should have won the game, right?
Should
You
have.
normally win that game. The Bears have just had a good mojo late in games to figure it the fuck out.
Yeah,
They ran into a team. I
yeah,
called them right here, the comeback kids. They got it. They got that moxie late in the game. Oh shit, 50 seconds. they're getting their kind of vibe on that. Like they're becoming more confident, and they just if they were playing anyone else, Minnesota might have been able to hold off that game and win. But
Yeah.
they played a team that has been getting in those situations lately, and they felt good about being able to win. So for me, I felt pretty good about McCarthy. I think every game he shows you something. And so I think his leash is pretty long, and I don't have a lot of concern for him. If he doesn't show any improvement next season, then I think
Mm-hmm.
conversations should start. But I think that he's had
Yeah.
himself a fairly good campaign so far. And I wouldn't be, if you're Minnesota, I wouldn't be all that concerned about him. It's just one of
No.
those things. It's like clearly, we lost because you were a little inefficient this game.
Yeah.
But early in the year,
The season's
he had
over,
he
though.
had it. Wasn't it against the Bears? They beat the Bears early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
hellacious comeback win, and it was like
Mm-hmm.
his second game, and he was like,
Yeah.
he's all fired up and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets hurt, and it's hard to know how much momentum he could have built off of those first couple weeks he had. So
Yeah.
and really Duvernay kick return. Maybe the Bears don't win the game if Duvernay doesn't just get him to like the 50-yard line. That's why Caleb
Yeah.
was so pissed. He didn't really do anything.
They didn't move it very far, yeah. But yeah, Duvernay saved their ass.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, you still like the demeanor that Caleb Williams is showing. They got the Bears. They're 7-3 now, and they're leading the division now. But they do have a pretty hellacious schedule coming up themselves, so they're going to have a lot of tests. They got that Black Friday game against the Eagles. That's going to be that's going to be a tough one.
Now, when I think Chicago and Philly was the last time the Bears in the playoffs, they double doinked against Philly with Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
The double doink.
The double doink.
Yeah, so I guarantee they don't bring that up at all in the broadcast.
Well, you heard it here first on the J&K show. Anyway.
Yep. Oh, yeah, but
spiteful.
Yeah, and they're they got the Steelers and the Eagles at Green Bay, and then a not so easy game at home against the Browns.
The defense will mess with him. Myles Garrett, we'll get to him in a minute. He's about
He'll probably have 9 sacks.
He's going to take Defensive Player of the Year and tell everyone to choke on it.
I think so. Yeah, it's all but his right now.
And obviously our 2 picks are still doing awesome. But Myles Garrett is just getting like 4 or 5 sacks a game, but we'll get it in a minute.
Yeah, it's incredible. But yeah, you can't help but be impressed with what the Bears are doing. That quick of a turnaround with a new staff and everything. So I think Ben Johnson's going to have a lifetime contract there, and he may end up flirting with Ditka.
Hey, Rookie of the Year coach. I mean, he's got.
He might be.
I was concerned about him early in the season, but he was just getting comfy.
Yeah, just feeling it out. Yeah, after that Lions game, it was like fuck, But since then, they've just been peeling them off one after the other. So, winning close games, being in tight situations, it's like, okay, if they make the playoffs, they're going to be pretty well tested.
Yes. And their defense has started to become a bit playmaky. They're kind of.
I saw that earlier today. They have 3 defenders in the top 4 of interceptions.
Yeah.
Byard leading the way. I'm like,
yeah,
dude, that's gross.
I know.
But that's like old school Chicago shit. That's what they always used to do, and that's where they always were successful. Was when they would turn the ball over, when they had Urlacher and T-Nut, Lance Briggs. I mean, they would just kill you and turn the ball over, and they would just suffocate you.
Chicago kind of looks like Seattle from a couple years ago, and just not quite as many pass rushers. I think Chicago needs more pass rushers. They need to make sure when they draft for the next couple years, or if they have an opportunity to acquire, they should definitely make sure to focus on bringing like 2, at least 2, because I think that defensively, as soon as you do that, and if you get one, and he's like top 10 or 15 in sacks, that defense starts to become like one of your top defenses in the NFL because they're close. You can see how ready they are to have a like legit dude on the line wreaking havoc. So something to
Mm-hmm.
watch for the Chicago
Yep.
Bears.
Could be fun.
The next game, segue into Green Bay. Again, you said 6-3-1. I put they survive because
Barely.
Jameis, I'll be honest with you, I'm a Jameis guy. I thought he was about to
I love JMO.
he was about to eat him a W. I'm sorry. I thought he was. Obviously, I think it was Hyatt. Fucking stops on the route. You know, like he turns and you could tell Hyatt turns and didn't even think, yeah, but the ball's not going to
Doesn't.
come to me, right? No,
Yeah.
it's coming to you. What are you doing?
That's plagued Jameis for so long. You know, a lot of stuff, a lot of interceptions that weren't on him. And unfortunately, he's going to get drug in the dirt with this one, too. And it's like, yeah, but anybody with half an ass on their shoulder saw Hyatt give up on the route, or he just turned. You know, he ran the wrong route, or he just gave up. One of the two.
Give up for me. He's running.
I think so too.
He goes post and then he breaks back out. But when he breaks out, he just starts to fall into a jog and he turns his head. And it's like you gotta
shit. Yeah, that's right. I play wide receiver for this team.
You gotta finish the route, man. If he finishes the route, I'm not saying he'd have caught it, but he might have been
at least
able to prevent the other guy from catching it.
Yeah, no shit. That would have been nice because you know I was looking at that like, are the Giants about to beat the Packers? Are the Packers even good? It's like I don't want to hear no more of this. Hey, Jordan Love's 27 talk anymore. Packers are not a Super Bowl team. They're not. They're not. They may get to the playoffs. They're not a Super Bowl contender right now.
I think Green Bay is a good team, but I think that they've played with their food more than any team in the league this year.
100%.
I just feel like they did such a number on the Lions in the first week, but ever since then they've kind of been like, we're waiting for December to come, or like Lambeau Field.
Their chests got way too big, way too quick because of that week one.
Yeah. Jacobs got hurt in this game. Jordan Love got hurt. Willis had to come in. You started to be like, man, they're dropping like flies.
Yeah, but Willis looked good, man.
Good.
He did look good.
I mean,
dare you say?
Wilson looked good, obviously. They are coached well. And I think that's what it is.
Very well.
LaFleur's a solid-ass coach. So, like, what we're seeing, I think, is these players are making mistakes. And the reason they're scraping by against subpar teams is because LaFleur and his coaching and everything is that good that their bad games can still be wins. So that's kind of what's probably happening. Where Green Bay, we're going to probably doubt them once we get to the playoffs. But they are a talented team. And I think the moment they figure it out, they might not be beatable. But for what we've seen so far, we're not sure that they're going to be able to turn it on. It feels like they're probably going to be more like how they've been, which is a little clunky and accident prone once or twice a game. And so, yeah, they probably are more likely to lose a close one when they're in the playoffs, round 1, 2, maybe even the NFC title. But I probably have my doubts that they're an NFC title team right now.
I doubt that very much. If they do make the playoffs, I think they'll be in as a 6 or a 7. And they'll have to either play Philly or, maybe even Chicago or Detroit or whoever else would want to come out. Seattle, Rams. It's going to be between Philly and the Rams for that 1 seed, I think. But, wherever they got to go, I just think they're going to get beat.
Yeah.
So if they don't turn it around and win the division, then they're going to either not make playoffs or they're going to lose in the first round.
I get it.
So they need to figure it out.
Tracy was pretty decent in the game. And honestly, I thought Isaiah Hodgins was pretty good. What I liked from Jameis coming in instead of Russ was I was like, hey, there's some receivers that might actually have a good game because Jameis is in there. I know that he's willing to throw the ball and really sling it and be a guy like from the pocket. Russ, he feels too, I guess, boring is the word.
He doesn't throw with confidence. He just
No,
throws it
a lot of
away.
5 yard stuff. And again, not to discredit him at all, because he still has one of the best deep balls in the game. I think what's
Beautiful.
disappointing is that he doesn't really throw them very much anymore. I think that's probably part of that, right? He just doesn't go for that 50-yard bomb where you just watch and go, wow. And then boom,
Yeah.
and it's caught for a big gain. Like back,
Hmm.
it feels like every time he'd throw the ball up, it was a catchable ball for the guys. So I'm glad that Jameis got in, and I thought he was about to get it. The Giants, you know, they're not a very good football team. They were going to be
No.
really fun, but hey, we got to see Scoutabo on Monday Night Raw apparently. So hey, he's
Yeah.
healing up.
Yeah. Yeah. That was funny. It was hilarious. But yeah, I think it just goes to show again the Giants probably should have just fired their fucking defensive coordinator too. Just it's happened so many times this season where you have the lead late and you can't hang on. And it's man, at some point you got to be like, all right, dude. What I say, once is a mistake, twice is a pattern, three times is a trend.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Yeah, the Giants, as good as people as they have on defense, they shouldn't be giving away leads late, And it's like somebody's mismanaging in some bitches. So they're going to be another team that's. If you're going to you have to bring in a new coaching staff. Obviously, you need to bring in a D coordinator who's got some balls with him.
Yeah. One more thing about Green Bay, Christian Watson has looked pretty good. And you're going to get
Okay.
Jaden Reed back over the next few weeks. And so if you get Jacobs back in a few weeks, they could be full throttle come playoffs. So Green
Maybe.
Bay is probably going to be a difficult road team to beat for somebody at home, which
Yeah.
which could
Because
be
the
what we were
cold
talking
doesn't
about.
bother him.
Could be a Tampa or Carolina, could be a Chicago. Like if you're on the road coming in as the last couple seeds, you're looking at it going, who can I match up with? Because there's a couple teams that might have home games and you feel like, well, hell, we got the better team.
Yeah.
So it'll be
Well, yeah, but I think they got some work to do for sure.
yeah. Next game we got Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. The title for this game I put was Fractured.
Akatua.
No, fractured because Rodgers is hurt with a left wrist fracture, not a right wrist. I don't know how willing he will be to play coming up. I know he probably wants to, but Mason
Yeah,
Rudolph looked pretty good.
didn't look terrible, did he?
It was the Bengals defense, the
It
worst
was.
in football, the
Yeah.
worst of the 2020s. And
Yeah.
I think if they're Pittsburgh smart, they let Rudolph go for at least one or two because that's why you have him, and you make sure
Well, I
that
don't know.
you Rodgers can
Anytime
heal.
anytime you can have the owner of the Chicago Bears go into Chicago and play quarterback for you, you kind of want him to do it. And I know that I think this is going to be his last year anyway. I think he wants to go in there and just do the damn thing and get one more opportunity to pull his balls out in front of the Chicago Bears fans and say, I will always own you.
So
And
Pittsburgh
it
plays
would be fun to
Chicago.
watch. Yeah, it's at Chicago.
I think it's a bad idea, but that's just me.
Well,
The last thing Aaron Rodgers wants to do is be told that his time of owning Chicago has come to an end.
Well,
Especially
I understand
with a broken
that, but
wrist,
yeah. But I think it's so fun, and he's that kind of a petty guy where it would be like, I think he needs to play. Just tape that, put a freaking mitt over that left hand. He doesn't need it. Just give him that right hand. That's all he needs. That right rifle, and he can beat the Bears.
Obviously, I could definitely see him coming into the tunnels on that game with a shirt that says "What wrist?"
Yeah, fuck them wrists.
Because like he's that kind of guy, and I get it. Um, and
Yeah.
he adopted the Chicago Bears about 15 years ago, so I get where you're coming from. He's been a proud father of them for a long time,
Very much so, yeah.
but when you get in your old age, what you don't really do is continue to try your adopted son, because one day old adopted son is actually big enough to do
Yeah.
something about
Yeah,
it.
he's gonna figure out the combination of that gun safe eventually.
Yeah. The other notable thing, because Pittsburgh crushed them, they crushed Cincinnati. The other
Yeah.
notable thing, and I haven't seen but one small clip. I did not have time to watch it. But I did see enough to know Jamar Chase is a liar.
Yes, he is. He is a stone cold lying son of a bitch.
We got 5K. You got 5K. I got 5K. Other people still got
Mm-hmm.
HD. People got
Mm-hmm.
the curvy TVs. I mean, we got Zoom.
Yeah.
We got. He's
Put the
like, I
picture
did
right
not.
down there. Right down there. You'll see it.
Yeah, I did not spit. I'm like, my ass. It was real obvious. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was thinking or
Yeah.
talking
That was
like.
like, I don't know if you ever saw the movie or not, but you remember the movie Road Trip when he hawks that loogie all the way across the bridge and it makes the bridge collapse? That's about how big it was. I was like, good Lord. And you thought you were going to get away with that shit?
But I hadn't watched
Come on, Jamar, be
all the
better.
clips that come from it to kind of decide my feeling. What was your feeling of it? Like, who was more at fault for the altercation, and kind of what was your feeling from it?
Well, Jalen Ramsey's always going to run his mouth. You know, he's been in a lot of altercations. So you automatically look at it, I think, thinking, well, Ramsey probably asked for something to happen, but spitting on someone is the ultimate bitch move. I don't give a damn who you are, what your status is. I still believe Jamar Chase is probably the first or second best receiver in the entire league, but
Yeah.
total bitch move. I mean,
And
he needs to come out and be like, all right, if he comes out and says, okay, I did do it, I'm busted, I own it, whatever. But he doubled down and now he's appealing the suspension.
is he
Like, dude, you're a
really?
bitch. Shut up. Yes.
I
Yeah,
didn't
it's like
see that.
you cannot deny it.
I was about to
You
say he's
can't.
suspended for the next game. I did not see that he was
Yeah.
appealing it. That's really
Came out and
stupid.
appealed it. It's like, dude, you are an idiot.
What do you think the NFL is going to do? They're going to have Jalen Carter on opening night, not even a seconds into the game, get spit and suspended, and you think they're going to not do it to you? Like, why do you? Now, that's some diva shit, in my opinion. We have you on camera. What?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think we're going to find?
You can't deny it.
It don't make any sense. That's
and it doesn't.
Shit, man.
And that's like he's like one of the last people you would expect that from.
Yeah.
Like he has not been an ego or a diva or anything like that in his entire time there. Even when they've had bad seasons, he's always been a leader kind of person. You don't expect this from him, and now that you've seen it from him and you've seen his reaction to everything, it's like this guy is kind of a dick. And now it's like, dude, you have all of these different camera angles showing, and now it's, I didn't do that. No, it was some other dick in a number 1 jersey said Chase on the fucking back. You idiot. Stop it. You know what you did. Just own it and serve your game.
I don't even think I need him to like be like, yeah, I did it. It was a stupid thing. Like, I don't really need like an admittance. But I don't want to see someone trying to pull the wool or try to give me some bull jive. Like, you fucking did it.
You did.
And honestly, I would probably rather just no comment when they talk or ask about it. Like, no comment.
Yeah, it's be like, I don't want to talk about it. It's done.
But yeah,
talk to me about whoever they play next.
Like you said, the doubling down makes it even worse. Really,
it's so much worse.
It was already spitting on someone, which is hurting his character as a football player and how fans see him. And then he's going to turn around and be like, tell everyone you didn't do it. When we're like, well, what the fuck do you think we just saw then? Are you telling us that we're all wrong? Like, it just makes every fan just kind of be like, what a bitch move.
Yeah, it was a bitch move.
So when you have fans side with Jalen Ramsey, you're doing something wrong.
You know you did something really bad. Wow. And at first I thought when I saw them fight, and I'm like, oh well, Jalen Ramsey, that's typical Jalen Ramsey.
Yes.
Maybe he's doing it so he doesn't have to guard him. You know what I mean? So he doesn't have to get toasted on camera. But then it's like, no, you see the spit leave, and it's like I totally understand Jalen Ramsey. And if I was the NFL, yeah, they threw him out of the game for doing what he did. I think I still give him the paycheck. I don't take the pay away from him for getting thrown out of the game. You still pay the man because I think they're lucky he didn't do more. Like he had every right to just physically assault that sumbitch. If you do anything like that,
this one's
you deserve to get your ass beat.
This one's probably going to be considered a little worse than Jalen Carter, don't you think?
Yeah. Because Dak spit first. I don't care what anybody says. Dak spit first, and that's evidence.
And I don't think Dak was trying to hit Carter with it. He was
not, but he was spitting at his feet.
What are you going to do about it? It was like, but it wasn't. He wasn't really directing it. But then I think Jalen Carter it's like he got mind fucked, and he's like, "Well, I'll spit back," and he kind of just sent it.
Yeah, he full sent.
So, but in this context, they're face to face and they're talking shit. There's no accident of being like, man, fuck you, motherfucker. And then somehow you spit on them. Like, no, you actively, like, you don't accidentally spit that amount out. This isn't like splatter where you watch some guy just splattering someone's glasses because they're just, No, he spit right on them.
Yeah.
So it's
and I think the NFL should probably look at that and be like, if you spit on another player, that's 5 games. I don't care. 5 games. And you miss 5 paychecks. That's money. Another fine on top of it, and you don't get to play in 5 games.
I know it's not the same sport, but it's important to note that Magic Johnson had to retire from the NBA because back then you didn't understand a disease and they were worried that sweat and even spit could be a contracting thing. And now but in the NFL, you got guys intentionally spitting on people, and we had just had COVID in 2020.
Yeah.
So it's really tone deaf to be like, I'm willing to do that. That I'm willing to, I'm good with it. Fuck you, whatever. Just throw a punch. Fucking do it.
Yeah, because a punch is only going to get you a game. So just fucking punch the dude.
If you want to fight.
Don't spit. Yeah, don't spit. That's you might as well pull your dick out and just pee on him. At that point, you know what I mean? I mean, I'd rather be peed on than spit on.
It's like Will Ferrell's face in like Talladega Nights, where he's like, "I'm gonna do it." And then he just whips it out and just starts peeing on a guy instead, like instead of stabbing himself in the leg. I'm gonna do it. Don't you do it. I'm gonna do it. Anyway.
So yeah, I just think that's the ultimate bitch move that anybody can do. So yeah, I think if Goodell has a spine, 5 games.
Yeah.
That'll get rid of that shit real quick.
But you wouldn't ever have to use it. I get what you're pointing out.
Yeah. Make it so severe that the guy's like, I better not do this. I'm not going to be able to make a fucking house payment.
And it's a bad look for the NFL.
Real world shit.
I wouldn't mind hearing that the NFL, the way the NFL's cracked down on other things like weed violations.
Yeah, things that don't matter.
And then they pretend to care about, some domestic violences and stuff and things. It's like, okay, you guys are trying to do certain things, whatever. Double down
Guardian
on something and say you're not going to deface the league, the shield, by spitting on each other in games anymore. Like if you do it, we're gonna suspend you for a month. Like, so I like it.
You don't get game checks, plus you have to give us $150,000 on top of that.
We're gonna send you to rehab for a spitting addiction.
Wow, I don't know about rehab. Maybe some therapy or some shit.
That's the new.
If you're willing to spit on somebody, man, you got some shit you need to work out internally.
The assault of the spit. All right. Anyway, the next game we got was the Chargers at Jacksonville. What?
You want to talk about assault?
They bolted. They just bolted out of there. They
Yeah.
didn't stick around. I couldn't believe how bad the Chargers got their shit kicked in. I'm like, how?
It wasn't kicked, but it was pushed in.
It was pushed.
It was bad. I could just see. I don't think I've ever seen one team hit Justin Herbert so many fucking times.
Yeah.
Legitimate hits to the point where Jim Harbaugh just looked so out of it. He just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
And they were just like, you know what? All right, fourth quarter, Trey Lance, you're gonna come in here and you're gonna get murdered, bro.
But
And he did. But it was so surprising. You wouldn't. It's not surprising that Jacksonville won the game. It was surprising how they won the game. And I think they reminded everybody, it's like, remember our defense at the beginning of the year? And everybody was like, the turnover differential and the sacks and everything is like, yeah, they remembered. Yeah, they remembered. And it was like, all right. And it was a good team to have that kind of a game against because now they're going to be motivated, so they're going to finish the year out strong, which kind of sucks for us because we still got to play them twice. But,
yeah,
but we also worked the Chargers, so it doesn't really matter.
True.
But yeah, it's still a shock. You don't expect a Jim Harbaugh team to get worked over like that ever.
No. And especially after we get worked by Pittsburgh and then the Chargers kept Herbert clean against Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And did a great job. And then that Jacksonville just bludgeons him. And I'm like, damn, I thought the tackles were fine, but they're not.
They're not. No, they made a good move to get a good tackle there on the left side, but I mean, I think it was more interior than it was anything else, though. Jacksonville, Josh Allen was a beast.
I was about to say that.
Beast.
Was it Hines Allen? I was about to say the old Josh Allen.
Yeah. I always call him Jacksonville Josh Allen, or Jacksonville Josh.
There you go.
But I mean, he's having a really good, I think, comeback year. So just proving that they're going to be in the hunt, and they're showing everybody like they could absolutely win the South. But they got to hope for Indy to kind of crumble a little bit, but we do have a rough schedule to finish the year.
Yes, we do.
But including 2 games against them, 2 games against Houston. But
yeah. And Houston has made it to 500.
Yeah, Houston's at 500.
Even though I think they're kind of dog shit, they've made it to 500.
I don't think we play anybody
with a losing record.
With a losing record at the end of the year. It's
Jacksonville twice,
Kansas City, Jacksonville twice, Houston twice, Seattle, and San Francisco.
That's 7, and we're 8-2. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have all the teams the rest of the season. So,
yeah, and our bye week came at a pretty good fucking time, didn't it? Whew, we needed it. Yeah, seeing that kind of a performance out of Jacksonville does kind of make me pucker a little bit, but
I worry about the pass rush and chaos.
I worry a lot about the pass rush. Yes, and that's what is frightening.
I will say I'm not overwhelmingly worried about their offense because again, I don't know that Lawrence plays very good most games. But when they get Tootin and ETN doing what they were doing, it's like, oof. They were just taking turns kicking ass. Jacoby Myers being there, pretty good time to pull the trigger with your injuries. Myers can step right in and hey, cool, we still got kind of a number 1 receiver here. We got someone we can get at least 5 or 6 to. It kind of helps steady the passing attack some because without him, they wouldn't have hardly anyone to throw the ball to. So pretty clutch there. And I will say, even though for Jacksonville, I talk their offense at times looks kind of pedestrian. They had first downs in this game.
Yeah,
it's Chargers 8, and they did not punt or allow a sack in the game.
Yeah.
So that is a pretty elite offensive outing, even though the numbers in other ways were kind of mediocre or kind of chill, average. They don't really blow you away. Those things though, it's like, woo, those on that 30 first downs, no punts, no sacks. That's a pretty solidly elite performance out of their offense, which is otherwise quiet most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah. But that was an incredible one. Not a whole lot really to point out and discuss. I mean, just the fact that the Chargers look flat,
Yes.
and it's concerning for them.
Yes.
But but yeah, may hopefully it was just one of those. It was just a bad week. They did have to travel pretty far, but um, just an off flat game. Every team has a couple of them every year, so maybe that was just their. Hopefully, you can, at least in their case, hopefully it was the last one.
Yes. The next game we got Seattle against the Rams. I was very excited for this game. And this game was honestly, when you watched it and when you looked at the stats, it was actually a very confusing game for me to
Very
digest.
much so. Yeah.
Darnold threw 4 picks
Mm-hmm.
with no touchdowns. And they only lost by 2.
Yeah.
Eight Rams caught a pass, but only I think Ferguson or someone close to that, the tight end, one caught 2.
Parkinson.
Parkinson caught 2, and then Nuakua got 7. So everybody else had 1. There's 6 receivers had 1 catch in the game. So
Yeah.
Stafford didn't have to do a lot. Kyron, them, they kind of took it easy, right? They didn't really overdo anything. They kind of said, okay, defense, go out there, pick. Okay, we'll try. It's not gonna work. Defense, go out there, pick. They never really had to push hard on offense to do anything. They kind of relaxed.
Yeah.
But another thing is Seattle was forced to settle for a lot of field goals. They had 4 or 5 from field goal with Jason Myers. And then I'm looking at that and I'm like, doesn't this kind of suggest that if they played again, Seattle would beat their ass?
Yes. If they were to play, if that game was in Seattle,
I,
and yeah, it may not be so good. I think, and I think they get them. I think they get the Rams at home in a couple weeks. That that one will. It's going to be such a good game to watch. I think, and I think it's a Monday nighter.
yeah.
But yeah, that I think that what happened Sunday now puts that Monday night game here later in the year on the map as a must watch.
Yes.
It's going to be a big game. Darnold's not going to have another 4-pick performance,
No.
I don't think.
I
That's
don't
just, again, every team has a stinker every once in a while.
It's true.
That was it. And it's not often where you can say a Rams corner had more receptions than Devontae Adams, but he did, and he just had a bad game. And or maybe it wasn't so much Darnold had a bad game as the Rams defense had an elite game.
Yeah.
But when they still you sat there and the fucking Seahawks had a chance with 1 second to go. They had a chance to still win. Their defense is going to have them in every single game, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
They're going to be there. So if you see that Sam Darnold has 4 freaking turnovers, I mean, shit, and Jigba still went over 100.
Yeah.
He's still there.
They're still working Shaheed in.
They're still working him in there. And I mean, to have that terrible of a game and to still give your kicker a chance to win it, albeit it was a long ass attempt and it was low percentage to make it, but a chance. That's a kick that Jason Myers can make.
Yes.
Man, that just tells you how well coached they are. So the Seahawks are going to be dangerous, and the Rams obviously are going to be dangerous, but they're all the 3 teams in that division, man, are just killers, man. They can take you out anytime. So it's going to be a tough out, but yeah, I mean, the Rams, shit. I think at this point you have to put the Rams at number 1 right now in the entire league. I think they are the best team right now.
And like I said, this game left me very confused. I feel like
Very
on
much
one
so.
hand, I'm like, yeah, the Rams are awesome. And then I'm like, they're a field goal away from winning. 4 picks.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
you're good.
I look at it and I'm like, any one opportunity and the Seattle wins the game. One of those field goal drives, if they just get a touchdown instead, if they make a play and they get in the red zone and score a touchdown. I just look at that and I go, Seattle gives themselves a chance to win every week.
Yeah, absolutely. They can win anytime, any way. They can win with their defense. They can win with their offense. They can win with their special teams. I mean, let's not forget they have a dynamite punt and kick returner in Horton. You know, he can bring one back at any time. Darnold can do what he does, and Jigba does what he does. Kenneth Walker made an appearance this week. Holy shit.
They have two running backs that can play well.
Yeah.
They just haven't been able to consistently run the ball, but they have guys that can run. They have good.
They found the run game this week for
Yeah.
sure. They found it. And it's like if you find it, it doesn't matter if you win or lose that game, you build on it. And maybe this game starts the run of okay, we're going to start beating you with the run to set up the pass, and then we're going to beat you that way. So they're still dangerous, man. I still have Seattle in the top 3 even with this loss. So they're still a dynamite team, and they should scare the shit out of whoever they play.
I'm not sure if I don't still think Seattle's better. I'm really that unsure.
And I can't, I'm not going to argue that fact. I mean, they could still do it. But I will tell you right now, you have to play your best game to beat Seattle. They don't have to play their best game to beat you. That's the scary part about them.
For the Rams, doesn't it feel like they beat us, and it's kind of like kind of gave it to them a little bit. And I'm just looking at it, and I'm like,
quit bringing up old shit.
I'm just saying, I'm not sure, and I wonder.
Yeah, they found
the next one very closely because I'm like,
they found a way to win, and that's what great teams do. And you know, everybody can point at AD Mitchell all they want to, but you know the Rams, we were in a tie game. They bombed us with an 80-yard touchdown. They found a way to win.
Yeah.
And that's what great teams will do.
10 men on the field and one of them slipped, though. I just can't help it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They can play you into mistakes, man. They can do that. And it's like you overthink it or you underthink it, you know, and they can put you into those situations. So you feel you're kind of intimidated by them, and it's like, okay, well, we forget to do the little things. Make sure you have 11 on the field. You know what I mean? And it's just like one of those things that slips your mind, and it's like Matt Stafford's like, okay, they got 10 dudes. Yep. I'm gonna torch you.
Yep, I get it. Moving on, the next game, which wasn't very close, but it actually has a lot to kind of to little talks about. San Fran at Arizona. First of all, welcome back, Purdy. He looked pretty good. You kind of felt like with him in there, their offense seemed or felt a little different. But Mac has done well, and we've seen Mac can go like 11 of 12 to start a game. So I was like, this isn't really that different. But something about Purdy being in there, it felt like, oh, we got our guy in. It just Kittle, everybody had a little more juice to them, and I was like, well, San Fran, like I said, I apologize. We got you out. I think you guys are going to be just fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine. I mean, yeah, Purdy gives them an extra element, you know, and not to say that Mac Jones did anything to lose games. He played great. He's a great backup and a great addition. But yeah, like you said, it just seemed like things were more organic with Brock in there. And it seemed like, you know, hey, Kittle was there. Kittle had a great game. You know, he was getting shit. Jawan Johnson involved. He was getting everybody involved. Christian McCaffrey.
That deep fade route for that tutty, it was a beautiful ball.
Yeah, beautiful
and
touch.
Kittle looked beautiful catching it with his long hair. He just.
Oh yeah, he looked like a beautiful man. But yeah, and it just seemed like everybody was on the same page with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you turn around and you see what Arizona did, you know, in a losing effort. But I mean, shit. Michael Wilson with 15 goddamn catches out of nowhere. I mean, Trey McBride with I think 10 himself or 12.
Dortch
It's
had
like,
6.
oh my
Yeah.
my goodness, man! And Jacoby Brissett, another 450-yard guy. You know, you have 2 of those in a week. That's very very rare, like we were talking about. But what was it? 47 completions,
47.
whole NFL record, NFL record
Woo! Now
by
you
a
can be like,
quarterback who isn't
it was
shit.
BS this, it was BS that. It's like, no, wait a minute.
Doesn't
47
matter.
completions is more
47
than
completions.
quarterbacks even throw. And you can be like, well, they had the ball a lot, they were down a lot. It's like they were never like so far out of the game where it was completely rubbish that they could come back. They were out of the game some, but it's important. Sky Moore, fucking opening fucking kickoff, gets him to the fucking 2. Easiest
Yeah.
fucking McCaffrey touchdown you'll see all fucking year. We're down 7-0 and it's 12 seconds into the damn game.
Oh, well, this is over.
The punter.
It's like it's the first pitch and the season's over.
You got what was it? The 2 picks by Brissett. One of them, 2 guys ran into the same location. If they fucked the play
That's
up
never
as
a
far
good
as those
thing.
guys go, you're gonna keep blame Brissett on that. He's trying to get it to the guy, and it's like you just ran in the same. And now you got like 4 fucking defenders there. What the fuck are you guys doing? You know. The other one was The other one was a bad decision. He tried to squeeze it somewhere it wasn't going to be able to make it. It just was a bad. They've dropped into a zone. He saw the man going across. He didn't see the zone defender Lenore stop and he just easily grabbed it. It was a bad decision, dude. Arizona though, again. So this score was 41-22. You have the Sky Moore. You have the 2 picks. 17 penalties on Arizona. 17.
Bad.
They only lost by 2 more points than they had penalties. So talk all you want about Arizona's laying an egg and that was garbage time. Like, I don't really think that it was. They just kept kicking themselves in their own ass all game long.
Yeah. Yeah, what can you do with that? You cannot you can't come back from that many mental mistakes.
No.
And it's just awful. I feel really bad because Jacoby had the game of his life. And it's like if you cut those penalties down to like 8,
then you're probably
maybe it's a game. It's a game.
Now,
maybe they can put up, 34 instead of 22, you know what I mean? But I mean, it is what it is. Arizona has had that curse about all year. It's bad timing penalties, big mistakes in crucial spots. So yeah, it's just awful.
You know how many penalties San Fran had?
Probably 1 or 0.
Yeah, exactly 1 for 5 yards.
Yeah, 1 5-yard penalty.
Had like 17 for 150 fucking yards.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna call a timeout. I got a wee.
Okay.
So we'll maybe we'll get this done real quick. I promise.
I'll stop talking so that we can just mute it out.
I'm old as shit and my bladder doesn't work as good.
Okay.
That's so much better.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, baby Jesus. My backyard is flooded now.
All right.
So much better. All right,
you should be able to just edit out where no one was talking. It's like just considered a dead silence. So we should be able to just edit that out. So don't worry, everyone.
It wasn't dead silence outside, man. That was a forever stream.
Let the rain wash.
Oh, purple rain.
Anyway, Arizona had 3 turnovers to San Fran's none. Did you see McBride though? Honestly, the refs had it out for him on a celly. He gets tackled by 3 guys at the out of bounds. He gets up and he does this, and he's got his fingers out, and he points first down, and they flag him. And I go, for what?
For what exactly?
He didn't do.
I had no idea.
He didn't do any guns. He had his fingers like this, and he went like that.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, oh my God, you can't even say it's taunting. He wasn't standing over anybody. He wasn't in front of anybody.
There was no one in
He was
front of him.
next to the referee, and that was it. All he did was first down.
It's horseshit.
And it's like, you cannot discuss that away. You can't sit there and say, well, we thought he was doing guns or we thought he had a rifle or something like that. He fucking did not. It was so obvious.
That's what he's clearly doing.
First down.
And
it's like, oh my God.
The very next play,
he's not that kind of guy.
I think this is probably his second next play. He catches the ball, goes down, he gets another 11-yard catch. When he gets up, he brings his arms up very robotic, and he goes,
yeah.
He's like, and then he just gets up. And it's like, yeah, you're allowed to do that. And when he did it, he looked right over at that same referee. And I was like, well, if you make it a thing, guess what? I've seen it happen. There will be more flags. I'm just going to say that's one of those games where it's like NFL, you have enough time to put someone on that game and just kind of investigate it a little bit. Just make sure that your refs aren't getting their emotions in a little fucking tizzy like a fucking little baby back bitch. Do your job. That wasn't even the right call, and you fucked it up. And then because the guy did a even more obvious, like, there's no fingers, look at my hands, and he's like that, and he's looking at you. Now it's like, oh, we're gonna flag you now. Don't you worry. Don't you look at me funny.
Don't you look at me funny. Yeah. The people who bought tickets and the people who pay their cable, satellite, subscription bill or whatever, we're not paying that shit to watch the goddamn referees have TV time. We're not. And I guarantee you can ask any fan who was there in Arizona watching that game. I guarantee you probably 30,000 people that were there are probably like, that was so annoying. The amount of flags and timeouts that there had to be because of penalties. That game was probably, you go to an NFL game expecting to be there for about 3.5 hours. That game probably took a little over 4 hours because of so many stoppages. And it's like, I just want to go home. My butt hurts. I'm tired of sitting down in this cheap ass seat.
Yeah. I
don't want to watch the referees blow their fucking whistles and throw their little flags because they're butthurt about a player or, they got, emasculated at home or something. They got yelled at for not emptying the dishwasher or something. So then now they got to go, oh, well, goddamn, I got to go to freaking Arizona and do this damn game. So you know what? I'm going to throw some flags.
And it just...
I can't help.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It just made me mad.
Stupid. I think all officials that if you're an officiating crew and you throw 18 fucking flags in a game, you're automatically out of the running to do any playoff games. And you're definitely not doing shit for the Super Bowl. You should be relegated down to the NCAA. That's it.
And honestly, I would probably say the same for the officiating crew that has thrown the least amount of flags. That you might want to consider, hey, are they not,
are they choke? Yeah, you don't want them to swallow the whistle. You don't really want them to blow the whistle too many times.
They call like one on each team, and then it's like seems like they throw almost no flags all the time. But
there are games where both teams play mistake-free football.
Yeah,
there will be games like that, but like they always say, there's holding on every play.
Yeah,
so you're gonna expect about maybe 3 to 5 flags per team per game. Is usually about what we get. Now, sometimes you'll get none, sometimes you'll get 10, sometimes you'll get 2.
17-1 seems just a bit
17-1. That's kind of like OKC Thunder refereeing, officiating right there.
Now,
so
another thing to consider too is
the pit.
The Colts. You remember? God damn, what was his name? He retired for us this season because he didn't feel like he had it anymore for the cornerbacks position. Xavier Howard.
Oh, Xavier Howard, yeah.
Xavier Howard, in the one game early in the season, he was getting picked on play after play. They were trying to attack him, and he gets called for a PI. And honestly, at least there was probably 3 or 4, and I would say half of them were definitely like questionable. and it was in
He had
the
one
same end
bad one,
zone
yeah.
with the same referee, and he kind of said something to the referee, and it just kind of felt like that referee at that time was like, "All right, you're gonna do that. I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do." If that
Yeah,
happened to
we're
be
gonna
the
burn you.
same referee, it's just
I
NFL.
hope
Make sure
not.
you investigate a little bit. Obviously, I have no idea, but just me talking about it right there. What if that was? Isn't that cause for concern that if a player antagonizes or gets mad at a ref, the ref's more likely to throw the questionable flags over and over? Like
Yeah.
something to consider.
That's
You
what
don't want
makes
him in a
me
playoff game at all. You can
it's
sit home. It's January. Your season's over. Thank you for
yeah.
refing.
It's shit like that that makes me want the NFL to make the officials full time. Full time. Stop. These guys aren't doing anything else in the off season. What they're doing is they're going over the rules, they're going over stuff, they're staying in shape,
Yeah,
just like the players. But you got to make them full time employees because that then forces those guys to be like, this is my job. This is what I have to stay on top of the rules. I have to stay on top of the players, the owners, everything. They got to be involved with everything. And then you know what? If you make 2 or 3 dog shit calls that are just bad, you're out. You're done. You're fired, and we will bring somebody else who wants to come into this
if
shit.
you get emotional,
So
then you are a liability for the
you
integrity of the
definite
shield.
liability. Yeah. If you are not mentally strong enough, because you're dealing with millionaires on that
Who
field.
are
You're
they're playing they're
they're playing for their livelihoods.
yeah,
You're not. You're as a referee, you're not playing for your life.
you'll be back next
These
year,
guys are
right?
playing for their lives.
Yeah.
The referees, they know they're going to
And
be on
your
next year,
career
but
is longer than the average NFL player.
yes. And the referees, yes, they need to be in good shape. They need to be able to run, and they're okay. We'll call you an athlete too,
Yeah.
but you're getting paid a good wage for what you do. These guys are getting paid really good for what they do, but it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. They could take an injury and they could not play ever again. Or they could get 3 pass interferences called on them and then decide maybe I'm not good enough anymore and then they decide to retire.
Yeah.
You're fucking with their life.
True. Does
So
Xavier Howard
you need to
finish the
be
season if he's
clear.
not having those kind of plays? And maybe
Maybe.
he gets a little mojo back later in the year because
Yeah.
you don't really know. He retired because
Yeah.
this referee had an attitude.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know that because you don't know what's going on between anybody else's ears. You only know what's going on in your head. You don't know what anybody else is dealing with. So if you're going to be that guy who said, you know what, well, I feel this way between mine, so I'm going to fuck with this person, you don't know how they're going to react to it. You're an asshole. I'm sorry, but you're an asshole.
You're an asshole.
And the fact that you want to do that or you feel the need to do that should get you fired and you should not have that job because it's bush league bullshit.
I can't remember which punter it was. I want to say it was the Cardinals punter. He got juked out of his shoes so easily on a punt return early in the game. I think it was the Cardinals punter. The 49ers, I think, were bringing it up the top of the TV screen, and the guy just kind of the guy was running, and he kind of just wiggled, and the punter was like, and it just slipped.
Wasn't that the one where the punter didn't he jump 10 yards before he
Like,
even got there?
And he just kind of fucking went all on his own. It was pretty awesome. It gave me Trevor Siemian vibes a little bit. It was pretty awesome. I can't remember which punter it was, but if I find or if I can remember or find it, I will put it down here as a clip. It was pretty awesome. It really made me
Simeon
happy.
shit.
It was really good.
Oh,
That player did almost nothing. He was running and he didn't even hop. He just kind of
yeah.
and this that little
Wait,
flinch,
wait.
and the guy's like,
What? Yeah, wasn't it Pinheiro?
I think it might have
I
been.
want to say it was
It might have
Pinheiro.
been Pinheiro.
Yeah. I want to say it was him. Yeah.
It's either
God, I
a kick
remember seeing
return
that
or a
now.
punt return. One of
It was
those.
it was a kick return.
And yeah, they were
Yeah, he
hitting it out.
jumped he dove like 10
He
yards
was like,
before the dude was
he just
even there.
his feet just like slipped for no reason. Like he was running and running, and then he was just like, whoa,
Run. So good. Yeah, I saw a clip of that. I think it was TikTok.
yeah.
But yeah, it was so
I
God,
saw
it was
it
so
live
funny.
and I just started cracking up. But I can't remember which one it was. Anyway,
Oof.
that was it for that game. So the next game we got Baltimore at Cleveland. Honestly, I just put classic Ravens Browns game. Classic. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
everything about it. It
I
was
call
just muddy, just messy, just chaotic,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah. Browns versus Browns, man.
basically.
That's what it was. Browns versus Browns. And yeah, it seems like when they play in Baltimore, it's never close. But when they play in Cleveland, it's just a muddy, knock the shit out of you defensive struggle game. And I love those kind of games. I love them. And we had a Shadur sighting, bro.
Yeah.
A Shadur sighting.
Probably.
It's like, yeah, they put him in at probably the worst possible time.
It wasn't good.
But it wasn't good. But I mean, I think I like it. He'll get some 1 reps this week, especially if Gabriel can't go with his concussion. But I think if you give him a good week of practice, I don't know who in the hell they play this week. I think it's at Washington.
That's winnable.
I think this is Cleveland's bye week, and then they go to Washington next Sunday night. And so that'll you give Shadur 2 weeks, and it's against a team that's really struggling and is frankly at this point in time dog shit. Their season's over. I think
it's not Cleveland.
You put him in a position like that.
I don't think it's Cleveland's bye week because we were on the show talking about benching Dylan Gabriel and giving Shadur 2 weeks to prepare.
Did I? Oh, well, hey, yeah, I was looking at the wrong shit.
Yeah. We were talking about if
I had the wrong.
had 2
Well,
weeks to
still
prepare for the Jets a couple weeks ago that we thought he would be good to go.
That's my fault. I clicked on Denver instead of Cleveland, and I was looking at Denver's schedule, so that's my fault. That's bad journalism. They play at the Raiders. Winnable game.
Yep.
Give him a week of practice. The Raiders are a winnable game. Now, maybe you don't want Max Crosby going up his ass, but protect him.
So what I don't like in the game was when it comes here the Sanders connection. I'll stick on that first. Then Gabriel got hurt, right? Sanders came in. Sanders did not play well. He was like 4 of 16, and he had a QBR of 2. That's pretty fucking bad. He had a legitimately bad game, right? Bad.
Made it look like QB number of his old college number.
Yeah. Made it look like Cleveland made the right decision at that moment. It made it look like it was correct that Gabriel was ahead of him. He was drafted ahead of him, and he made it clear and obvious, right? However, what I didn't like was this guy, Lester. He muffs a punt being so stupid for the Ravens. I mean, it was so dumb. He's running. He's like, shit, I better dive for that. And I'm like, what are you fucking doing?
Why are you diving?
Psycho? If you have to dive, you just don't go over there at all.
Yeah. At that point, it's a Peter drill.
No, you let it hit the ground and you hope for the best. You don't do that. So he does that and he muffs. And then who the fuck is sitting next to Shadur after the game, almost like rubbing it in, or maybe he's cracking a joke? Is this fucking Lester guy? I guess he went to Colorado.
Yeah, they went to Colorado together. So I guarantee they were probably just talking about stuff. And you could see Shadur's like, dude, you muffed a punt. Get away from me. You dove. Get away from me.
Looked like he did not want to talk to that dude. Like,
yeah,
look,
he's like,
you
dude,
were never cool.
I threw an interception and you still had a worse game than I did.
I don't know. I just thought, I was like, man, what a bitch thing that was. Now on the other side,
that was kind of dumb.
The other side, Lamar didn't really play very good. He wasn't really in much rhythm throughout the game. He had 2 picks.
No.
5 sacks on Lamar, 4 of them by Defensive Player of the Year run, leader, Myles Garrett, who's played out of his mind. right around the deadline, that he couldn't do anything about trade deadline. He'll never probably play in his prime. He's never going to play for another team, and it's disappointing.
He's okay. Yeah, he's never going to play meaningful football.
I mean, he's going to get an opportunity. Best case scenario, DeMarcus Lawrence-esque, where he's clearly 31 or 2. He might get an opportunity to then play for a team that is built ready, and then he's a piece, but not like he's not like you might forget they have him, but he is making plays for them, kind of thing, right? So that's where he's heading. He's not going to be leaving Cleveland, and he's going to be stuck there, being awesome, and then watching the game go 0 with a loss every time.
Yeah, but I did appreciate the fact that he didn't have a freaking crash out this game, though. Because I mean they were in it. They had an opportunity to win, and it's just, if you have Gabriel in at that point, maybe he can lead you on a drive, maybe. But he wasn't really doing a whole lot in the game to begin with.
But he was doing better than Shedeur. So it's kind of
doing better, yes.
Damn,
so
Shedeur
what could have been
goes 4 of 16. Dylan usually goes like 10 of 16. So there's 6 more passes probably that could have been caught because Dylan would have put it in a better spot or a better idea that was a dump down here.
And he just he has more of a rapport with the receivers and everything. So, Shedeur hasn't had any time with them at all. So the timing is going to be off.
Yeah. And honestly, Baltimore, like I said, I put classic. They win this game on in Mark Andrews. I called it the push tush because it wasn't a tush push. It was a push tush. He was pushed the tush, but he spun off of it and went outside and it was an awesome play. It was basically a bootleg push tush or tush push, and it was awesome. And great play call. I mean, great play call. It was lined up, and they just did it a week ago. Lined up, it looked absolutely like a big old slam up the middle. So, yeah, the tush push is going to be modified into being a really, really difficult play to stop no matter what. Because all these teams, if they can't muster that push the way Philly is, they can still line up in it and work on it, and maybe they can still get a yard sometimes, just not 2 or 3, and then they can do deviations off of it. And it's like you already got to focus so hard on where that ball is hiked and to hit that center so hard, and then you got to worry that they're going to do what they could do on the outside. And so like all these teams, some of the top 7 or 8, they're going to be doing shit like that, and it's going to be tough. I thought that obviously play the game, they win the game on that.
Yeah, it was good, and it's like what we thought was going to happen. Baltimore was going to get healthy, and they're going to go on a run. And you saw the last half of their schedule and how much easier it is. I think the hardest game that they have left is against New England, and they get they get the Bengals twice, the Steelers twice, and then they get the Jets this week. It's like gross. They're gonna finish 11-7 probably, or
better,
or 12-6. So I definitely think they're gonna win the division. For sure. So they're gonna get a home playoff game, and it's gonna be hard to go to Baltimore and win. So, I mean, it's scary, but they're doing what they got to do, and it's like, weren't these guys just fucking 1-5? It's so gross.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, we're just going to peel off 4 straight like it's fucking nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're 500.
Yeah, with like Huntley involved too. Like they're just 4 in a row, and they've just piecing little shits together.
Yeah, it's almost like they started, what the hell was his name? Cooper Rush for 2 games just because they could.
They're like, it's like a long season.
Just for shits and giggles, we're gonna put this white dude out here who can't fucking run an offense just to see what we can do. Like, come on, man, Baltimore. Again, you guys are assholes.
Hey, Cooper Rush was probably a DEI hire. That's all that really was.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It was sickening. It's sickening. It's like, because it never made, even when it was going on, it's like, well, wait, when the Baltimore get a white boy at quarterback,
Like,
this just doesn't seem right.
didn't
He
Flacco
can't
retire?
run. Yeah. Wasn't he in Cleveland? But now it's like, okay, well, they did it because I think they knew that they had about a 5 game pad. Where it's like, okay, if we really have to, we're turning on. We don't sweat Pittsburgh. We don't sweat Cincy. We don't sweat Cleveland. We can win this division at probably 10-7. So why not throw a couple things out there? Maybe you get lucky, but yeah, that was
When
still
you
one that I don't
when
understand.
you look at the way that division has gone too, it's like what a miss for Cincinnati too, really, because what a
This
winnable
was going to be their year to take it.
what a winnable
Yeah,
division to just get back into the hierarchy of the AFC, and you can't protect Burrow, and it's like I'm still saying it. Tobin, see you later. Zach Taylor, I like you, but
bye.
you're gonna go too.
I like him too, but bye.
Yeah.
You're not a head coach. I'm sorry.
And if he's got some offensive deal, maybe that he can go to the Jets as an OC. I don't know. But you just figure it out, right?
Ooh. Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
So anyway, moving on. The cream of the crop game, the surprising game of the day. I Kansas City at Denver. I put playoff atmosphere.
It was. It felt like a playoff
Yeah,
game. It felt like Brady Manning in Pittsburgh,
yeah,
or not Pittsburgh, but in Denver. That's what it felt like.
yep. It did. What was it? I put here fourth.
And it ended great, didn't it?
Yeah, the fourth down. Bo got the first down late in the game. I thought they gave him a really bad. It was or before the half. I'm sorry. It was right before the half. They gave him a very bad spot. I watched it back 3 or 4 times and I
Mm-hmm.
kept stopping it. And they
Like
tried
Cortland
to
Sutton.
act like somehow his knee hit sooner. And they did that typical, when you reach out, we're going to move it this far back. And I was like, no, he was actually airborne. And when he lands, his
Yeah.
elbow hits before his knees. So the ball where it's
He
at
was a
is where
yard and
it's
a
at.
half past.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
you just took almost a whole fucking yard away from him.
Yeah.
And so they
And
were
that
short.
virtual measurement was shit too.
And then the visual, I'm like, no, stop it. I was like, it was a bad spot from the beginning. That kind of was like,
Mm-hmm.
the fix is in. See ya.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Yep.
Riley Moss's 2 PIs.
Those were legit,
I feel like
you
one
know.
of the two. I think the first one wasn't quite right, but the second one, I just don't like that they both felt close to a judgment call, and it's just annoying that they both got called. I would have
Well,
been
the
more
one on,
happy
I think it was Hollywood.
if one of them were picked up. I guess is all I mean. Just because they were
Yeah.
so close to judgment.
Yeah. That one on Hollywood right before I think it was the Kelsey touchdown.
They're both
That was a legit
pushing.
one
It's
because he
just a
did.
frustrating thing that Hollywood stops
Yeah.
and goes to push him by, and Riley
Mm-hmm.
holds him to not get pushed by. So they're both
Yeah.
doing it. That's where I get a
They're
little
both doing
frustrated.
it, but I mean, when you do that, and you know, he did kind of lean into Hollywood a little bit more,
Yeah,
and it did push him to the ground. But you know, I think that the second one, I would have liked to have seen them pick that up because I don't think the ball was catchable.
agreed.
But you know, whatever. I mean, the Chiefs are going to get that call, but I did. It's like the Chiefs had a lot of penalties called on them, but they could have had more. I don't know how many times Cooper got held by the left tackle. It was sickening. It was like every other play he was getting past him, but he was holding him under his arm, and he was like this the whole time.
Yes.
And he had an arm in his back, or hand in his back, and a hand in his chest. And it's like, dude, that's textbook holding.
Yes.
Why are you guys not throwing this? Like, fucking Chiefs, that's right. But they actually threw a lot of flags on him, and it was surprising. So
Yeah.
I was like, I can't really sit here and be mad that they're not throwing flags on the Chiefs because they did. I think the Chiefs had like 10 penalties
They
almost.
both had 10,
So
which was surprising.
yeah.
But Chiefs 10 penalties was for about 50 yards, and the Broncos was for about 130.
Yeah,
So
it was bad.
it's like when
But
they're
just because it's pass
it's,
interference,
it's like
yeah. And Chiefs never had a pass
the
interference.
old saying is like same but different.
But different,
We
yeah.
know
When you get a 40-yard pass interference and then you
twice.
get another 25
Yes.
yard pass interference
So
and the Chiefs like, oh well, that's a 5-yard defensive holding. That's a 5-yard false start.
I thought that
Shut up.
Kansas City really just gave up on the run. 45 passes to 14 in a close game. I'm a little
Yeah.
surprised by that because Kareem Hunt has been strong for them. They like
Mm-hmm.
Brashard Smith and they like uh, doing screens and things. 14 runs for the whole game was pretty low. I think that they got away from it, obviously. But really, the
Yeah.
player of the game, McMillan of the Broncos, was awesome. He had 2
Oh
sacks and a
yeah.
pick on Mahomes. The pick was
Yeah.
awesome. He backed up right into the zone, saw that he was going for the touchdown on the far side off the rollout. He backed up and just boom, got right up underneath it. Like you can't throw it 20 yards if I'm in between at the 10-yard mark. I'll just jump up and snag it. He grabs that
Yeah.
ball, and I was probably the most annoyed in the whole game when on his sack late in the game, Mahomes got right up doing this. He didn't face mask you, you liar.
Not at all.
Stop
Not at
doing
all.
that shit. You're gonna convince a
Yep.
ref in a knee jerk moment of throwing a flag, and it's not gonna even be
Mm-hmm.
reviewable. And the refs are gonna have to
Yeah.
come over and convince him to pick it up, or you're gonna get a lying 15-yard penalty. Don't be a liar.
Yeah.
Okay? Chase
Yeah.
spitting on people, don't be a liar. He did not even
Yeah.
touch your face mask. If he come around the back of the helmet as he dragged you down, there was no grab of the face mask, and he's over here doing this trying to get a
No.
penalty. That shit pissed me
Yeah.
off. Of all
It's
people,
LeBron James effect.
of all
LeBron
people,
James effect.
that was
Yeah. LeBron Mahomes. I tell you, just begging for a whistle,
Yeah.
begging for a flag,
fucking great.
because you're done. You know that was the last chance you had to go win the game,
Yeah.
because now you gotta punt the ball to the most dangerous fourth quarter team.
You know, that's like when I'm playing ball in a rec league and I get the ball and I go up for a layup and miss it and there's like someone standing next to me. That's like me turning around just like foul. That's foul. That's foul. Why? Because I missed the
Yeah,
layup or something. Like,
yeah, my
oh,
yeah my yeah Michael Irvin.
yeah. It was ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
But
it was
honestly,
retarded, but I
it
just
was a great game.
piss on
It was
him.
a great game.
It was an awesome game to
Yes,
watch.
it was a great game.
Very entertaining,
Very
but
surprised for Kansas City to go to 5-5. And if I'm being totally honest, I don't feel great about us beating them because of that, though. I don't give a fuck.
yeah,
Call me a
I think there's going to be
conspiracy.
some bullshit calls.
Call me a conspiracy theorist. We're better than them. I think
Mhm.
a lot of teams are better than Kansas City this year. Suck it, Cowherd.
Yeah.
It's the way it is. Get over it. But they're a lot of the NFL right now. They're a lot about the NFL, and
They're an average team. They're a little bit better than average team.
yeah, they're not going probably 5-6. They're not going to have a losing record 11, 12 weeks in the season. I don't believe it.
Yeah, I don't know.
They should.
I wouldn't think I would have put all my money on them to beat Denver because it's Andy Reid off a bye.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well this isn't this last year Kansas City was winning every one score game.
Yeah. No,
It's just like Minnesota. Minnesota was winning all the close games.
yeah. And now Denver's
And
doing it, and Kansas City is.
now Denver's doing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes is not making Patrick Mahomes plays anymore.
No.
And it's like, oh my God, if you can kind of limit Rashee Rice, you can beat the Chiefs. You can beat them. Now they don't have an easy end to their season. You know, they have
Denver again.
us. They got the Colts at home. Then they go to Dallas on Thanksgiving. And then Houston Chargers, a probable win against the Titans, and then they have to play Denver and the Raiders to finish out the year. So
like half their games
there's
are
every bit of
actually-
chance that they could only win. They could go 9-8.
Yeah.
They can go 10-7.
Half their games will
But
be difficult for sure.
very difficult. So you kind of think that the NFL right now, Patrick Mahomes has got his little bat phone. And he's like, all right, guys, it's fucking enough.
Listen
We
here,
need
guys.
some stuff. Yeah, we need some. We get our calls here. We really got to do it. But
7 seed here.
yes, on a run we will go. But
Yeah.
it would be. I think it would be poetic justice if they missed the playoffs this year. I think it would be the funniest thing ever. I just don't think the NFL will allow it to happen.
No, neither. The Sunday night game, it kind of got ruined by weather, if I'm being honest. The wind was unbelievable in that game.
Yeah. I think it got ruined by officiating.
I also think that, and we'll get to that too. But I put on
But
here, it didn't blow me away.
Oh, you're ridiculous. But I'm not gonna 100% put it on officials. I'm gonna put it about 60% on the officials, 40% on Dan Campbell. Punt the fucking football or kick a field goal, dude. You don't get to go on 4th down every time.
0 for 5.
Stop it. It's a pet fucking peeve, and it's starting to become a problem. This 4th down shit is like, man, he left probably 6 points at least on the field.
Yeah.
I understand the wind is blowing,
but there was a couple close ones that you probably
you got a top 3 or 4 kicker. Let him try.
If I'm being honest, in that game, your kicker had a way better fucking chance after that long one that he made to get them 9 than Goff had to complete a single fucking pass.
Right.
Like,
yeah, and that's why it didn't make sense to me.
In this wind, you've seen this, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have just a harder time throwing the ball. So if Gibbs and Montgomery don't have you 200 rushing yards, like, you're not gonna have very many points.
Yeah. No.
So it's
and that's just it baffled me. It's like, this isn't, Dan Campbell had a great play calling game last week. And they looked unstoppable. Okay, it was the Commanders, but still, they didn't get stopped. But to have at least a shot at maybe a low 30, high 20-yard field goal, and you don't take it, dude, you got to put points on the board, because then they still had a chance to go down at the end of the game if they wouldn't have called that bogus pass interference on AJ Brown. Then they would have gotten the ball back, and they would have had a chance to maybe go down and maybe get another short field goal and win the game, or get a touchdown, and they would have had a better chance to do that.
Yeah,
that's why I put officials made some really bad calls. They finally called a false start on Philly for the tush push, but they didn't do it. It was Detroit went offsides, and they were just like, "Yeah, fuck it, we're going to call it on Philly anyway." I'm like, "Oh, get it figured out." Come on.
I totally agree. I put on here tush push false start, but it was wrong.
Yeah, it was freaking. Yeah, it was offsides. Now, watching it back, you see the guard kind of move his hand.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, did you call false start on that? Because you didn't blow the whistle until the Detroit player flew across.
Which game was it where a guard was literally hitting the other guy's hand, and then he moves it back, and then he reaches and starts hitting his hand again, and I'm like, what are you doing? It was the guard on the right side.
It might have been that.
I think it might have been that game. He reached out because the other guy had the ball, his hand in the neutral zone. And he goes over here, and he's like, and he pulls his hand back, and he reaches out across, and he goes, bah, 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 bah. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was that play, and they called false start, but it's like,
if that was the same one that you're referring to, it is a false start.
It's a false start,
yeah.
But I mean, they didn't call it until the Detroit player flew across.
Yeah.
And then the guard reacted to him doing that. So it's like, that is technically offsides on the defense because the offensive player is reacting. Now, if you're going to call false start, you throw the flag. Neutral zone infraction,
mm-hmm. That's true.
But if you're going to call false start, you call it when the guy is moving his hand out, and you're doing that. You don't wait until the defender goes across the football.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Finally, you call a false start on that play, but it was wrong. It was just wrong.
Yes, I
It's
agree.
just wrong.
I agree. Was it Goff had 20 completions? I'm trying to remember this play.
He had a bad game.
They had a penalty on the touchdown. Okay. Yeah. So the Lions get a penalty on their touchdown, and they still tried the
Yeah.
PAT that was godly far for 1 point. Honestly,
Yeah,
in
you
that
don't. So yeah,
circumstance,
at that point, take it to the 7 and go for 2.
I would have liked, yeah, I would have liked a far
Yeah,
2-point conversion instead.
it would have made more sense. Now then, I would get it.
Yeah.
So you're willing to kick a 45-yard extra point, but you're not willing to kick a 30 fucking yard field goal.
Make it the stop doing that. You're gonna break something.
Ugh, I kind of hope so.
Anyway, and then the last thing you were talking about. Well, there's one more before I get to that. The defense on Philly was awesome, especially their defensive line. They had 5 pass deflections between Carter and who's the other guy? The other Georgia fucking defensive lineman who's awesome. Carter and
I can't remember now either.
Damn it.
Is that gonna mess with you?
It is.
Damn it.
Anyway, it's Jalen Carter and they were awesome. They were awesome. They had 5 pass deflections. Every time Goff tried to throw the ball, it seemed like they were just waiting for him to try to throw it, and then they batted it down.
You're thinking of Jordan Davis.
Yes, I am. So yeah, and then going to the last basically play of the game, what a really, really, really bad call on those refs for Rock Ya-Sin. That was an unbelievably bad PI call. That wasn't.
Very
I
bad.
don't even
If
know
anything,
that constitutes
offensive PI.
hand fighting. If anything, it was an offensive PI. And when you got Chris
Yeah.
Collinsworth saying, "Well, now here's a guy that
Now here's a flag that shouldn't have been thrown."
He pushes off and he doesn't even get the PI.
Yeah. That was so bad.
What?
When Chris Collinsworth makes sense, you know something bad happened.
These commentators, folks, the commentators are pretty reluctant to make the refs look bad. And when you've got guys you people call plants, and people that come in to just kind of defuse situations. That's your Mike Pereiras and whoever the Blandino, whoever the fuck these other guys are. They come in here and they just about always side with whatever the refs are probably going to call. Like he's thinking like a ref. He's not trying to look at the play and really decide what is the right call. They are almost always talking about how the ref sees it this way. They'll even say that in their conversation. Well, what the ref's looking at here is, and it's like trying to pull the wool over the fact that the refs might call this wrong, but they're right. No, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing these analysts in the booth telling me a call and why it's right or wrong, because why don't you just get on the horn and make sure they get it right? Why don't you get in the headset and make sure they get it right? I don't need you to tell me that it's right or wrong or this is why. I want you to tell the ref to make sure he makes the right call. Get all the angles and call it correctly, and we can move the fuck on.
Yeah. I don't want to see after the game bullshit like, yeah, we got that wrong or we got this. Make the right call in the situation. Right. Use your eyes. Use your damn eyes. That will tell you right then. I didn't see any hand fighting. The only thing I saw was a woman's arm extended. And Rock Ya-Sin has to be sick to his stomach, because he had great coverage on him, and he caused Jalen Hurts to throw an errant ball, and that was going to get them the ball back.
Yeah.
They were going to get the ball back with an opportunity, and that's all you can hope for as a defense. Now you get called for this bogus call. Now it's like, man, I don't even want to play football anymore. It's like, you know what? I just want to throw my controller through the window, and I just want to shut everything off.
I'm going to be honest, though.
And it's like, come on.
The reason I wasn't terribly pissed, I was mad about that call, because I literally kind of had my mouth kind of open like, are you kidding me? Watching the play.
Yeah.
But I don't think Detroit would have won the game.
I don't think so
I
either,
don't.
but you would have been left with a
Yeah,
chance.
I'm
They would have had
disappointed.
an opportunity to go and do something.
Disappointed
Yeah,
they lost the opportunity, but I don't think they would have scored a
yeah.
touchdown. It
You
was
don't want to see, especially a prime time, global game.
yes,
You don't want to see it end like that.
yes.
You want to see it end with Jared Goff driving with a chance to tie the game, and it just you don't even get to see it. It's almost like when the Chiefs beat the Bills back in the day. Josh Allen didn't even get a chance to get the ball. And it's like I would have liked to have seen them get a chance, but
Most fans would have told you, you know what? Don't end the game until one of them finally doesn't score. Fuck it.
yeah, let's just do college overtime rules.
Just go and go and
College
go. Yeah.
overtime rules. Absolutely. We want 12 overtimes.
But yeah, Detroit has shown some chinks in their armor, and then at times have shown that they're still a Super Bowl caliber team. They're kind of a difficult team to figure out this season,
Mhm.
but you lost by 7 to the champions. You just really windy. I'm gonna be honest, without the
Yeah.
wind, I think Detroit might have been able to win the game.
They could have pulled it out, cuz maybe they would have gone for field
5
goals.
pass deflections, that was a problem, but for 23 incompletions, he was missing on a lot of passes he probably wouldn't have.
Yeah. Yeah, probably, but I mean, that you that's part of it. You got to play in the elements sometimes, especially if you're a dome team.
Yeah,
You're used to perfect conditions every single time, but that's what the playoffs are, man. You got to be able to handle the elements. I would have liked to have seen them lean on Gibbs and Montgomery a little bit more, but Detroit, man, they're just that flashy. They got to throw it. You got Jared Goff, you got St. Brown, you got J-Mo, you got even Tesla and shit. So you got to do it. You have to try. But I think have not having Laporta really hurt him.
I
So
agree.
because he's that safety valve, 5-10 yards down the field.
I agree.
So again, Detroit gets just killed by crucial injuries and really critical spots. So I think they'll rebound though. They're definitely not out.
I agree. And then the final game of the week, we had the Monday Night Football game. Not a lot to discuss. Cowboys looked pretty
Mm.
good, but it was the Raiders. Dak had 4 touchdowns. He played a pretty clean game. He did a good job. Pickens
Yeah.
Pickens played good. They noted on the sideline that to start the game, CeeDee Lamb and Pickens were on the bench,
Hmm.
which was interesting. And then later on, I think they showed is the coach's name? It's not Schottenheimer. It's the other.
Yeah. Brian
Is it
Schottenheimer.
Schottenheimer? Okay. He was over
Yeah.
there, I think, is who it was, and then he was just like joking and laughing with CD and George, having a good old time, like they were getting along real well. Later in the game, things were going well.
Hmm.
That's about as notable as the game was. It wasn't really close or exciting.
Yeah.
Cowboys got themselves a win. Got maybe it was kind of a get right game. They're 4-5-1. I still am jury's out. I don't really think they're going to make too much noise. I don't believe in them. The Raiders are 2 and
No.
8. Like I don't believe
Well, yeah,
in
the
the
Raiders aren't
Cowboys.
anything. It's just one of those stinker Monday nighters where they didn't think too far ahead of it in the scheduling. Where it's like, okay, Dallas and the Raiders, it might be interesting in week 11, and then it wasn't. But, Dallas, they have a rough fucking end of their year. They're not making playoffs. They're probably going to lose 4 or 5 more games. It starts with Philly.
Ooh,
Starts with Philly this week, and then they got Kansas City on a short week, Thanksgiving, at Detroit, against the Vikings, and then the Chargers, and then they finish it out with Washington and Giants both on the road.
so they might not win a game until Washington and the Giants.
I don't even know if they can do that. I mean, it's going to be outside in December and January. It's going to be cold in New York and in Washington. They got
So you would predict right now the Cowboys may finish 6-10-1 or worse.
what's the? I think they will.
Because I thought maybe they can get 2 wins for sure.
6-10-1 6-10-1 sounds good.
Right?
maybe 7-9-1 if they play well. They're definitely losing their next 3. They may get a win against Minnesota. They're not beating the Chargers, and they're not going to beat. They could beat Washington in New York. They could.
Hey, after what I saw from the Chargers, they might be able to win 4 in a row at the end of the year, but then they would still only be 8-1. Like they're not, like you said, they're not going to the playoffs.
They're not doing anything. Yeah, the Dallas right now. You look at it, their season's done. I think they don't. I don't think they have any chance to win enough games to even get in, especially with Philly's going to win the division for sure, and every other team in the NFC is just so much better.
It seems
in the other divisions,
it seems
they're
about impossible to finish with a winning record, right? 8-1
they're not
is
going
probably the best they can do.
If they get to 8-1, you got to think that that's a win.
Yeah, and then they're not making playoffs, right? They're still not the 7.
They're not.
There's too many good teams with good records that are gonna at least be 9-8, right? And you're like,
yeah, when you're that there's going to be 3 teams that come out of the West. All 3, Niners, Seahawks, and Rams. They're all going to go.
Yeah, and now you've got
and they're going to take 2 of the wild cards. Exactly.
Crap.
So
and one of those teams
it's either going to be
one of those divisions isn't.
Yeah. So it's going to be hard. I mean, it may be hard for Detroit to make the playoffs now, but it's just the NFC is just so strong that if you could even see Carolina and Tampa making playoffs. So the West is going to get 3 teams in. Either the South or the North is going to get 2 teams in. And it's looking more like it's going to be the North. So that only leaves room for one from the South, one from the East. So
I think most
it's like
people expect the
what are you going to do
to blow it down the stretch, and it'll be Packers Lions. I think that would be most people's guess at this point.
I expect that. I don't think the Bears are going to win the division, but I think that they can absolutely still make the playoffs. I think the Bears will make the playoffs over Dallas for sure.
Well, yeah.
But
Packers, Lions, one of them would probably miss then if you have 3 out of the West.
Yeah, I the way things are going right now, I would probably say Green Bay misses because of the injuries that they're taking right now. Is Jordan Love right? They're even starting to kind of whisper that Josh Jacobs' season might be over. So if he's gone, that hurts. That really hurts. And if Jordan Love has to miss a game or 2, that's really going to hurt. So that's going to be the NFC playoff picture is going to be fascinating over these last few weeks.
You have a couple 6-3 teams right now that are liable to miss playoffs, and you'd probably be like, what? They let 7 in. 6-3 is not going to be good enough at this juncture when we finish the season. We're going to miss playoffs. Are you shitting me right now?
Yeah. It's almost disgusting. So, yeah, it feels bad, but I mean, that's the way it is. You have to be on it every single game.
Yep. Well, it's going to be fun. That's our show, guys. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Yeah. Eat you some turkey. Enjoy football. And we'll see you guys next time.
Maybe.